People, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for a match reaction to the unfortunately very poor result up against Man City yesterday. Chelsea lost 1-0 to a goal conceded via Bernardo Silva at the end of the game. It was a very tight game. Some people very happy with the performance. Some others slagging off players. The same old things, really and truly. We'll be going through everything in and around the game, guys, as well. Tap the screens, share it out. The Nicholas Jackson misses. The poor refereeing decisions in regards to the handball as well, which was a handball, by the way. It was obvious it was a handball. Lots and lots and lots to get into at the in regards to that game yesterday. Smash the likes, share it out, get the likes up, guys, and let's cue that intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for the match reaction to the Man City-Chelsea game. Man City winning 1-0 in what was a very tight game, a very, very tight game between two teams, and lots to get into. How do we break this down? You know, we'll start with the positives and then we'll go into the negatives. Before we do that, please make sure you're smashing the like buttons. We have got the panel joining us today as well. Nearly 50 people in the building. Let's keep running it up, guys. I need everyone to tap the likes if you can, please. That would be amazing. Let's try and get them up, guys. But let's get into the discussions in and around the game and what we saw today. Before we do that, let's go through the chat. I'm a Manchester fan, United fan. We're same as Chelsea. Skills just came here to troll, which is normal. It's just normal, bro. Like, it's boring. Go and win a trophy. Come back to us when you win something. Like, you know, it's boring. Yeah, we're out. Of course we're out. We're not stupid. We know why we're out as well. Like, it's not hard to work out how it was out yesterday, Skills. There's a lot of common sense, brother. A lot of common sense, isn't it? Come on. We didn't play bad yesterday. We actually had a very good game yesterday. You know, there was questions about the setup, the tactical lineup that Pochettino come out with. We ended up playing Gallagher off the left, Madueke off the right, Palmer in the 10 with Jackson through the middle. We created endless amount of chances, which ultimately landed to the striker, Nicholas Jackson, to try and take and finish and bury for us, which didn't happen as well. But, you know, I don't need to pray. You need to pray. You're the ones that need to pray. You need Man City to drop points, not us. You're the ones. Jackson had a good game. I know he missed chances, but he's a baller. He drops deep. He receives the ball. He does everything, everything well in terms of that part of his game. But then it's just then on after. It's the killer instinct. It's what I said on the match preview, guys, when we were sitting here and we were talking about the game, and I said to you about Jackson. I said to you, he does everything, good, intricately around receiving the ball, carrying the ball like he did yesterday. He come deep. He relieved pressure for the team. I like all that about his game, but the most important thing when you're playing in that lineup, when you're a striker of this football club, is being able to take your chances, especially in games like Wembley up against the team that will get a chance or two. If you do not take your chances, they will. And that's ultimately what we're going to be going into as well, DJ Sav J, how are you, bro? Long time, bro. We played well yesterday, just didn't take our chances. How many times have we said that? How many times? Steve, good to see you. Daniel, DJ, good to see you, man. Good to see you all in here, guys. Skills, Chelsea should have had a pen. Yep, we should have. We're going to talk about that as well. Ella, nice to see you. How are you, darling? Hope you're well. We played amazing yesterday. All those chances were wasted. Same old story. Gutted is an understatement. Yeah, it's a hard one to take again. At the same time, I wasn't really beat up about it because the way the game was going, the way the game was playing out, the amount of chances that we continuously kept missing. It just felt that they were gonna get one chance. Obviously, we took off Gusto, which then weakened our our right side of the pitch with Disassi, and they targeted it and they got around him at that one moment. And Bernardo Silva was in the right position to finish it. Defensively, should we done a little bit better there, probably. But it played out how I thought it would, and I wasn't really shocked, guys. These types of performances don't shock me. It's just disappointing. It's just disappointing, Chelsea had chances they have missed. Chance to win the FA Cup because United or Coventry would be winnable, but likely United would win. Yeah, and look, it looks like Man City might even get A potential double here. Potential double on the cards. The season is done. Chelsea are not getting Europa League. FA Cup was our best. Were our best chances. We'll see. There's lots of games to play. We've got Arsenal on Tuesday. We'll be doing a match preview to that either tomorrow or on the day. Doesn't matter. Poch has to go into the season. Some people still very angry with Poch and his decisions. Jackson is everything else apart from a striker. Madueke pissed me off. Yeah, I don't like his reaction after the game. I'm not going to lie. Just lost the game, mate. Feel for some of those who do care. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to highlight some of the positivities in and around the game yesterday. And then we're going to go into the negatives because hella, there was a lot. There's a lot of negatives. And then we've got to do the player ratings. And we've got the panel coming in as well. We've got the panel joining us as well. There's nearly over 50 people in the building, guys. 6 minutes in. Keep tapping the likes, guys. We need to get the likes up. If you can share it also on your socials, guys, it will let people know we're live. And it also invite new Chelsea fans into what we're doing. It helps us grow ultimately. And we're just trying to work it back to where we used to get it, guys. 200 people in here, 100 people, 150 people. You know, we'll get there slowly and surely with the consistency. We had the best opportunity to get to another final against a fatigued City. City can make something out of nothing. All they needed is one chance compared to our handful. You couldn't have said it any better, Ella, darling. Couldn't have said it any better. I agree. It hurt. It hurt. I'm not going to lie. It hurt because we knew the more and more chances that we kept missing, eventually they were going to take their chances, and they did. And they did. You know, Pochettino's sub was poor. Again, look, man management. Again, how he reacted in terms of substitutions, decision making when making a substitution. You know, he brought Mudryk and who else did he bring with Mudryk? Was it Disassi? Was it Mudryk and Disassi first? Off the top of my head, I think so. Yeah, you know, and I thought to myself, okay, he's done it in and around. Was it the 60 to 70th minute mark, roughly? And I thought, okay, you know, fresh legs. Ultimately, later in that game, you could tell we just needed the fresh legs. We needed the fresh legs. You know, and this is the one thing I always criticize him for. Fresh legs, you know, making decisions, keep us creating chances, keep us on top, keep us, like it just felt like later in the second half that was fizzing away with fatigue and things like that. And obviously City were fatigued from their game as well. We had a bit more time in them. Season over sooner than finish. We need a big summer, you know. Jem, Poch out if Chelsea lose to Arsenal. Listen, I've already said what I think when it comes to Pochettino at this club. I think that if he's going to stay at the club, I think the target at the beginning of the season for him was to get European football, whether it's Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. I think these owners want us to be in some sort of European position. If he doesn't, I think his job's up for risk. If he does get into, like, say, 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th, then there's a good chance he might probably stay. And then you've got to look at who's available, what the options are. Listen, I never wanted this guy. People that know me long enough know that I've never wanted this manager. I didn't want him from the beginning, and one of the reasons I didn't want him, or a lot of the reasons why I didn't want him, was from what we've seen of him this season. And you know, the one thing I would say about the last couple of games, though, is seems like the players are slowly getting the message in terms of system, in terms of understanding what's required of him in a game specifically, depending on the opposition. We went against Everton playing 4-2-3-1, you know, and we looked very good. And that was the first time that we'd actually seen a Mudryk, Madueke, Jackson, Palmer front four this season, which I think is disgusting. Them type of things are on Pochettino. These are the type of things where I expect him to look at that and go, okay, we were, offensively very good in a fast transition. We were breaking teams down. You know, we've got this. We can use this. And then evidently he then switched back to yesterday's game where he goes to a 3 in midfield, but he plays a 4-2-3-1, but plays Gallagher off the left, so which leaves us offensively unbalanced. We had no left attack. We were heavily relying on the right. And yes, we still had great chances. And I know people want to point the fingers at Pochettino about these performances, guys, and I fully understand it. But yesterday's game wasn't all supposedly on about what Pochettino did in terms of man management substitutions. It was more about us on the pitch and taking the responsibility for the chances that we had. And in that system that he put out at the beginning, which I was a little bit worried about, we still created in it. And we didn't just create one chance. We created enough chances. In fact, we could have been 2 up on them. to be quite honest with you. Yeah, they had chances themselves. Don't get me wrong, Foden, the De Bruyne chance, like they had moments. But when you talk about clear chances, one-on-ones with the goalies, point blank headers from like that was us. That was us, guys. We've got to hold that. We've got to hold that, We have to be better. And this is why we need a striker. We do. We need to find someone that will eat them up. I'll go far to say this as well. Christopher Nkunku plays yesterday, and them chances land to him, he scores. At least 2 of them. And we'll go through them. I was at the game yesterday, and the fans were right up for it. City fans were dead quiet. We need a manager that bridges a scary place to come and play moving forward. We do, Ella, but I think that may all come in time. I think where we're at the moment, no team's going to fear that. It's working on that and trying to build a system where the players trust it and the manager sticks with it. If the manager sticks with it and the players trust it, then we've got a very good chance of, potentially seeing some sort of consistency. And maybe then people will start changing their game plans when they come to the bridge. Right now, when teams come to the bridge, it's easy for them. They come to the bridge and they set up to just attack and play high lines and win the ball high and hope that we make a mistake. And guess what? We make these mistakes, guys. We make these mistakes too much. I think Enzo should go and get surgery. I agree. Big up RD. Good to see you, bro. Nearly 75 people in the building. Guys, we're on the road to nearly 100 people in here. Keep tapping the screens. But isn't to blame. It's the players, not clinical in front in the final third. Same old story as last season. We can't really rely on Palmer every game. I agree with that. And it's not even just this game specifically. This is something that's been going on at Chelsea for nearly 3 years. How long have we been playing? Pretty much without a striker. And even when we had Lukaku, he didn't play every game until he went through that madness. Do you know what I mean? Like, this has been going on for a long time, and it's just something that we need to address. And I think Arsenal in the same position as us, by the way. Like, they don't have a striker. If we had a clinical finisher yesterday, even just a killer, someone that when they get that chance, like they're going to put it in the back of the net. And we do have that. People don't think we have it. We do. But we've just not seen him. I am telling you now, I would bet my house. I would have bet my house yesterday that in all of them chances that Jackson got, if that was in Nkunku, he would have put one of them in the back of the net. At least one. He would have. Daniel, big up to you. Big up Couch in the building. We need a team that make it scary to come to the bridge. The team is too young and immature. Yeah, but that comes with time. We've gone down the route of buying youth, and I agree we need experience and this, that, and the other. But to where we are now, to where we need to get in the next 2 to 3 years, we need to see progression. And that's consistency. Once we get the consistency and a system that they're all happy with and understand and are effective in more consistently, then we will see that scary don't want to come to the bridge. They're consistent. They all know what they're doing. They're effective going forward. Defensively like rocks again. That all comes in time. We need that again. Need that again, guys. And hopefully it will come as well. Big up Ella, man. Big up Ella. All right, guys, let's go into some bits before we get into player ratings. I want to start with what is this? Don't want to start with this. Get off. I don't want to start with this. I want to start with the positives. We're going to start with the positives, and then we're going to find our way into the negatives. Even though this ain't a positive because he's crying, Thiago Silva came out of a comment after, and he said, "My 4 years here were very good. Not that I didn't believe in myself, but with my age and the intensity of this league, it's rare to see players in a high level at 39 years of age play the level that he had. And what hurts more, incidentally, and I had these arguments in group chats with people, is that he was holding bench for a very long time. And I understand we're trying to bring through some sort of chemistry with some of the young defenders that we have, but they're not to be trusted at the moment. This guy should have been in and out more consistently this season, in my opinion. And yesterday's performance from him started off shady at the beginning. He looked a little bit nervy. Balls were being a little, but I think we were both doing it. I don't think this was just a Chelsea thing. I thought Man City were wasteful with their passes. We were just both very nervy at the beginning. You could feel it. But once we found our, again, him and Chalobah, we're going to talk about Chalobah in a bit as well. Once we found our feet, he incidentally is just so important. The calmness, everything. Because the one thing I don't like when he's not in the team is the whole, Disassi, Badia, whoever's on, they're always looking to like just kick the ball quickly, like play it through the middle quickly and put one of our midfielders under pressure quickly. Like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want calmness. I want someone that can receive the ball and and just sure, let everyone get it, and then just like, even when, especially, look, it's more important when you're winning games, but even when you're not, it's more important in these type of games to calm the team, get control of the game, gain control. When you do that by having players like Thiago Silva in your team, because they're experienced, they read the game well, they're understanding what the whole energy that's going on at the moment. They pick up on it. And he was very good, barring that first 10, 15 minutes where it was a bit here, there, and everywhere. He was very good. It was very, very good. And obviously, we're going to get into more details about the players incidentally in a second, but I'm just flying through some bits and then we'll get forward in as well. If he does leave next season, 149 games played, 9 goals, and he has a Champions League, Super Cup, and a Club World Cup to his name. He will go down for me as one of the legends of this club. He will. Even through a horrible period that we have been going through as a football club. I would have loved to have had him years back with the Terrys, the Lampards, the Drogbas, even maybe like the David Luiz's and Cahill's to a degree, playing with the Hazard's age and the Diego Costa age, like having him then in a team where we was like going to win things and stuff, him then, but he came at a blessing because we got him free. He came across. A lot of people slated him for his age and said he's going to get absolutely rinsed. And in my opinion, out of all of his time here at Chelsea Football Club, he has been our best defender in the last, God knows how many years that he's been here, 3 years, whatever, right? Maybe more, whatever. Yeah, he's been our best defender by a mile, most consistent, and one of the best defenders in the Premier League, even at his age. That's how good Thiago Silva has been. And it's talks about maybe keeping him on next season at the club. If we were to release or leave, allow some players to leave the club, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, positive stuff. We love Thiago Silva. I'll let Ads quickly have a mention on him before we actually talk about the game, incidentally. But Thiago Silva crying yesterday, Ads, weren't the best result as well for us. Obviously, big up to you. What a legend, though. Even if he does go next season, what a legend. This club.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's a legend. Listen, big up to you, Jen. Big up everybody listening as well. Make sure you drop a like, get involved with the comments because obviously there's a lot to talk about based on this game and the whole season. But yeah, no, just on Thiago Silva solely, like, yeah, legend of the game. I don't know if he quite sits at like the upper room of legends for Chelsea Football Club, the likes of obviously your Lampards, your Drogbas, your Terrys, etc. Because obviously they have the longevity as well as a better trophy cabinet to show for their time here. But I'm not mad at anybody saying Thiago Silva was a legend for us because he's come in and been an important player in a time that like we wouldn't expect given his age. And even given the fact that we're not been in the best positions to win trophies, he still managed to come in and win a Champions League and be integral in that. So listen, big up to him, legend of the game, like I've always said. It's a privilege to actually watch him up close and play for my club because he was one of my favorite centre backs, anyways, of this generation. So yeah, man, I wish him all the best. Hopefully, he goes to Brazil and he can kick ball for a little bit, enjoy his time there because the last couple of years he's just been putting him through agony, just having to try and manage with these kids in it and this dysfunctional club, which again we will get into.
Yeah. Look, before I go, because what we're doing at the moment is we're going into the positives and then we're going to hit the negatives. Okay. There's a couple of positives to yesterday. I want to get your thoughts before we go into the next player that I'm going to pick up. Your thoughts on the game overall yesterday, how it went. I mean, it was clear and obvious that we just didn't take our chances. We had assists. We had an idea of how we wanted to play. City looks leggy, whatever. I still think we still had to do what we had to do. But I mean, what was your overall thoughts of the games yesterday from obviously start to finish?
Deja vu, like it says right there, bro. Just more of the same, and not in a bad sense. I mean, obviously the result was a bad sense because again we didn't get it done against a big team. But in terms of the performance, no, we came and we gave City a good game like we have all season. And that's good to see. It was good to see us compete in that sense. Come with a game plan and execute, which again you have to give credit to the manager to a degree for that. But again, it's just frustrating, and for me, I reached a point of just apathy because I can't be mad, like super mad or like upset or raging at what I saw, because what I saw is just a reflection of the season. We get ourselves into good positions, and then the final pass, the final decision is often poor. But then even when we get to that point, and then okay, well, now we have a chance to shoot, we have a 1v1. Do we take it? No, and it's not the fact that we don't take the chances, but it's the execution that's so poor that it just made you believe that we were never going to score anyways. And like I felt that when Jackson went through on the first chance, which I thought
Yeah.
actually was offside based on the camera angle watching from home. Like I thought, okay, at least just score since you're offside in it. But he didn't even take a shot, bro. Like it was just crazy. And from there, I just thought, yeah, I mean, this is going to be one of them days at Wembley, which you've seen many times. And again, we got many more chances, and for like through those chances, I wasn't really moved. I just thought like we were not going to take the chances as we usually do. So yeah, frustrating. Frustrating how it went like that, because I thought we defended pretty well. They did score obviously their typical trademark City goal, which again we could have done little things to defend better, and there were little other chances that they created, which again defensively we could have done a little bit better. But for the most part, I can't critique the defense too much. The midfield I thought did their job to a degree, but we just didn't take our chances. And like, at this level, you have to take your chances. As simple as that.
And it's equally probably the biggest thing in all of this, and it's easy to just blame Poch and say it was his fault. Equally, again, I keep calling out the man management and the late substitutions and all that stuff, which we can obviously relate to and get into as well. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are going to be doing a full player ratings. I'm just going to quickly fly through. Just quickly fly through some of the positives before we go into it and talk a bit about the negatives of the game, and then talk about obviously the player ratings as well. Let's quickly go to. I hate this. It never organizes itself. All right. I need this. I want to just quickly talk about this guy because he came out after the game. He says the game plan of the manager we worked on the last few days definitely showed we stuck to the game plan, and it was just if the final details, finding the back of the net, that was lacked. It's a tough one today because we had chances. What we have to do is learn from these type of experiences. And again, people forget how young Trevor Chalobah still is in himself, and he's not been for me. Trevor Chalobah's that player that's just been shoehorned in as of when we need him and not really been given the opportunities. Only really at the beginning when Tuchel decided to bring him in, but him and Thiago Silva, and I kept stressing about wanting to see this, and Forward did as well, to be fair. We were talking about seeing this.
Yep.
The reason I want to see this is just because they've been playing with each other for a long period of time. People don't realise this. People forget this. These guys have been in the team together for a little bit now, for a minute, and yeah, it's okay to throw Sassy in and Badish Shield and they're new and this, that, and the other, and they've got to play. We've got to get the future chemistry and stuff. But in these type of games, in these moments when you need to be solid, when you need, experienced people, and he's not, I wouldn't say he's experienced to the level, but he's played in big games, Chalobah. He's been forced in many ways to just play in these in games for this football club as well. And I thought he was exceptional yesterday, and the reason I wanted to highlight him was because I know we're probably going to look to sell him for profitability reasons and stuff, and I get that. But when you look at his performances like yesterday in the back four next to Thiago Silva, and Thiago Silva is a big part of it, which is why I worry a little bit when he's gone. He was very, very good, man. He was calm. He was collective. He didn't dive in the box, because the one thing City like doing very well, and we saw it yesterday, they kind of, work their way into the box, and then all of their like little ticky-tacky players get in the box and they try and wait for you to like throw a leg in or something, and then they try and win penalties that way and stuff. Or you throw a leg in, skip round you, and then play it into the near post or back post and bang, goal. Like what we saw for the goal, funny enough, when they scored later in the game. But there were moments where they were trying to do that with him, and he kind of just stood up and he knew not to go in, and he blocked it out for corners. He saw the ball out for goal kicks. He just kind of read the game very well, and he was very calm throughout the game. And he didn't get bullied. And I told you guys I wanted Alvarez rather than Haaland. I told you why. And evidently, I preferred seeing Alvarez up there than Haaland, because Haaland would have been a nuisance for them too. And yeah, he might have had a quiet game, but you just always know that he's ability to arrive in box and have that killer instinct and use his strength and the aerial ability to just be the difference. It's different to an Alvarez. Alvarez is different in the way that he moves around the pitch and stuff, but it's more easier, I felt, for Chalobah and Thiago Silva to operate against that type of player. And we saw it yesterday, in my opinion. And I just want to say hats off to him, because the one thing that I thought stood out a lot of yesterday was our defence later on in the game. I thought they'd done very well. throughout the 90 minutes, and including Petrovic, by the way, because Petrovic, when called upon, even stepped up, in needing saves here and there when we need him, Foden, KDB, etc. So, I mean, what were your thoughts on, just quick thoughts, obviously we could do player rating, but what was your quick thoughts on the performance of Chalobah next to Thiago Silva?
Yeah, I think I echo a lot of the sentiments that you're saying, bro. He was solid, he was strong, made vital blocks and we needed him to make those blocks. He was decent enough on the ball. And yeah, I mean he validated Poch's selection to choose him over Disasi. Again, I'm happy to see him perform because I wanted to see Chalobah start today after how he looked against Everton. And yeah, listen, it was a good performance. And yeah, I feel like you talk about his experience. Obviously, 24 years of age now. He's been at the club for many years, so he knows what it's about. He's not as inexperienced as some of these other kids who are coming in and just having their first proper season. No, Chalobah's been here. He's been in the squad. He's been like a main fixture. He's also come out and not been a main fixture. Obviously, he's had injuries, and I get that fans wanted to sell him, and they were quick to jump on him when he first came back, and he had a few shaky games. And again, I too was critical because I remember Leeds, especially, he was awful. Like he lost every single area with draw. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
But again, somebody like Chalobah, again, like I always look at Real Madrid, and I look at the fact that they have players like Nacho Fernandez and Lucas Vazquez, who aren't household names by any stretch of the imagination, but they can come in and they can do a job, and they're low maintenance. They'll give everything for the badge because it means more to them. And that's what you see with Trevor Chalobah. It's like, I don't get why fans are like, oh, somebody like him, he's a bum, you got to sell him. Like, no, like people like that have a use in your squad. And we saw it again. We saw it this week. We saw it against Everton, and we saw it today where, again, yesterday, where he was excellent. So, it's just a shame that he comes out on the losing end and it will probably be forgotten about in a few weeks' time. And people be like, oh yeah, get rid of him. He's a bum. 50 million. Yeah, pro profit and all this nonsense. Is like, I just don't think people understand how important it is to build a proper full squad, and that's not just 11 people. It's not just 14 people. It's 23 man squad, and he for me has a place in that. But again, we'll see what the club has in store for the summer.
Yeah, but you know what's funny about that? Yeah, no, big up, fellas.
Big up to you, man.
Yeah, big up,
I was going to actually ask you to have your opinion, Nick. I know you're not the biggest fan of the defense, but what was your thought?
Yeah, you already know I stay with that, but it's not even so much about the defense in itself. It's just Chalobah. First of all, you're talking about 23-man roster. Chalobah has been at the club for a long time right now and has not pushed his way through to play like more first team football. He's going to want to look up for his career and think about like when he's going to get the opportunities to play, much like his brother did, to be honest. And for me, he's not always switched on. Like there's too many opportunities where I've seen this guy play for Chelsea and he makes critical errors in the box, like critical errors that lead to goals or lead to goal scoring opportunities. That's the reason why he hasn't been given more chances to play in the squad. When he's been given those opportunities, he's made a lot of critical errors. Like we can't ignore that. Handballs, getting dribble pass, this, that, like how many times own goals. Like it happens often with this guy. So it's not so much about like he can't give you good shifts. It's not about that. It's not about him not giving you good shifts. It's about when you need him and you need consistency and you want to see him build on that one good performance. He always comes up with one that you're just like, wow, what is going on with this guy? Where's his head right now? So anyhow, I thought he had a fantastic game yesterday. I was nervous about him because I figured that what you don't want is for him to be put under immense amount of pressure for an entire game, because I feel like his composure and whatnot is just not, I just don't trust him in that role, right? But again, he proved me wrong. I have no problem admitting that. He was fantastic yesterday.
I think the thing with Chalobah for me personally is I agree with you that he's made mistakes, and partially I think we forget that this guy was shoehorned into the team from the reserves by Thomas Tuchel pretty much, and I remember that period that he had where he was very good. He scored his first goal and he looked quite good in the back three and stuff like that. And then he had that moment where he sort of fizzed out and made little mistakes here and there, which cost us. I get that. I understand all this. But when I look at Chalobah overall and his appearances at Chelsea and what he's done, I see a player that can not only be worked on, but I see a quality individual that could definitely be a squad member at this club. And when you look at his performances in the bigger games, right? I look back to the Liverpool, was it the Liverpool final last year where he'd been injured for ages and he came back in and he was up against Luis Diaz pretty much that whole game. And he literally had a mad game. I'm talking like serious. This is when Diaz was actually Diaz. In my opinion, Diaz of this season is not the same Diaz that I saw the season before, and like the ones that I saw
agreed.
back then was a better Diaz, you know, and he came in and he put him in his back pocket. Like there was some very good perform. I think he's overlooked a bit, is what I'm saying. I think people just go, oh, he makes mistakes. Yeah, he's crap. They're just in him. I think his overall appearances for Chelsea have been better than have actually been worse, personally.
And just to that point before Couch maybe comes back in, like again, I agree with that, and I also agree with a lot of what Couch is saying, which is why Chalaba would never push on and be like a main thing and be like that. Okay, I'm here as maybe the main centre back or the partner to the main centre back. Like I don't think he'll ever do that, and that's okay because it's not everybody's job to do that. Again, like I say, it's a 23-man squad. It's a squad game. But I feel like when you got somebody like him who can come in and give you good performances and is versatile. Again, we know we can play CB. We know we can work anywhere pretty much in the back three.
Yeah.
You know we can also play fullback. And we've seen him play DM in the past before. Whether that will be revisited remains to be seen. But at least somebody like that who again is low maintenance that can give you good performances on his day, that has a place for me in the squad. And again, yesterday's an example of that because against a very good team, against a very good striker, he was not found wanting.
No, that's true. I will say this: if he wants to be a squad in that 23-man squad, I have no problem with having him in it. I just think that for the betterment of his career, if he wants to be a guy that can like challenge for the starting role at a club week in, week out, I don't think that he's going to want to be here. He's probably going to want to think about moving on, thinking about playing his football.
Are the defenders that we currently have that we've paid money for, all of them, better than Chalaba? That's my thing. Because I don't think
they're better, but not miles better. That's for sure.
I don't think they're that much better. Like I'd argue that maybe some of them ain't.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'd say they all sit at a similar level, to be honest.
You're probably right. You're probably right. But those high event like errors, like only guy that I know that makes high event errors like the way Chalaba has done for us over the last couple of years is Thaddeus Shield for me. He's the guy that I feel like, wow, what's going on here? Like, why do you keep laughing every time I mention his name, man?
It's just you and Thaddeus Shield. I don't know what.
I've seen Disasi make some awful errors, to be honest. I'm not including lobbing the keeper from 30 yards as well. But
yeah, no doubt. Yeah. He's definitely done that, but it's never at the frequency where you see like Thaddeus Shield or Chalaba. Like he's not been as mistake prone, is what I'm saying, but. Well, yeah, he has his warts too. I don't like him that much either. So they all have their warts. It's just like who of them can you really pitch a tent to and say like, yeah, these are my guys. I don't know if there's enough guys right now in that defense that you can say, yeah, these are my guys.
I hear you. Andrew and Don have arrived as well. The backup,
Andrew,
the cavalry.
It's been a minute, man.
Boy, sorry, fellas. Nice to talk to people who know what they're talking about.
Real shit. I just had to watch the game back, man, because some of the things that I was hearing, because obviously I was at the game yesterday. Obviously, first of all, big up boys. So big up the chat as well. I was at the game, man, and listen, I was seeing some crazy things after the game, specifically about Enzo Fernandez, and I'm thinking, bro, was I in a different dimension? Was I watching a different game or something? Because that game was not lost because of Enzo, so I don't even know why his name's
lost
being brought
because
up.
of Enzo. Who said that?
They're saying that Enzo was poor again. They're saying, oh, Enzo again. It's this Enzo. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy.
They're worried about him. I keep telling you, they're worried about him. I'm telling you.
I'm starting to understand what Man United fans are talking about with Paul Pogba.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they're the same player, but do you know what I mean? It's but anyway. Let's talk about this game. Let's talk about this.
We'll do. What we're doing at the moment is we're just going through the negatives. The positives, and then we're going to jump into the hella negatives and do a play rating as well. So we're kind of like guided through this.
I think the positives were very clear for me to see in it. I think in that first half.
What about this guy? Because Gusto was great until he came off, and then the negative was Disasi was played right back when I thought actually Chalaba should have been played right back.
Just know it's very clear to see right now. Listen, Gusto played well, but it's very clear that he's playing with an injury at the minute. Yeah, I think he's been injured the past 2-3 games or something. It's clear, man. You can see in his movement. There's certain things he's doing.
It's muscle fatigue. It feels like it's muscle fatigue to me.
Yeah, he just doesn't look 100%, but he's still put in a shift. I'd rather him there than fucking Disasi. Do you know what I'm saying? Man, Doku coming on for them. Are we going through the game now, Jim, or how are we kind of going through this, bro? Because I've got a lot to say about the game, bro.
All right, go on. If you want, go into the game overall. We'll talk about the players specifically in the player rating, but just talk about the game, how you saw it. You were there yesterday.
Yeah.
So go for that
bro. Listen, it's pretty much how I expected it to go. You know, City are going to have majority of the ball, and then we're going to try and get them on the transition. I didn't think we were going to play a mad low block. I said it on LB's channel. I said I don't want to see a low block. Sorry, on my channel actually, the preview that I done with LB. I said I don't want to see a low block like what Arsenal did when they went to the Etihad. I want to see a mid block. So when we get the ball back, we can just quickly transition and try and attack them and do it that way. But one of the main things I spoke about, Jem, as basic as it sounds, I said we need to be killers like the other day, bro. We need to be clinical in front of goal because we will create chances. Do you know what I'm saying? We will create chances. Our record isn't great against Man City, but we always give them a game. Like, as good as Man City are, I'm never scared of these guys. I'm scared of my team, bro, because we create against these guys, but we just never take them. Do you know what I mean? And yesterday was another example of that, bro. You know, they were trying to.
Handball. I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
Wow.
It's crazy, bro. How that wasn't given as a handball, yeah, it was ridiculous. But I didn't want to focus on that. I didn't want to focus on that too much because we should have finished our game.
Yeah, that decision. This is one of the
we'll talk about it after, Jim. But I want to focus on the game for now. Then we can talk about that handball, yeah. But like I said, you know, City. Look, I literally just finished watching the game again, yeah. And City, bro, like they weren't able to create nothing through the midfield. They were trying, but we nullified that midfield. Caicedo and Enzo kept a very good shape. Enzo in the first 25 minutes was quite aggressive. He even committed 2 fouls as well, just like KDB, right? Where he was trying to win the ball back. And on the ball, I think I counted, he lost the ball twice, bro. You know, but people are trying to make it out as if he just kept losing the ball. He lost the ball twice. There was some good actions that he was involved in that first half, and even that pass, he created a good chance for Jackson. You know, when Jackson went around the keeper and he didn't bury it. That was Enzo Fernandez.
Great chance.
Great chance. Do you know what I mean? So listen, like I said, we nullified them.
This doesn't go down as a chance because Jackson didn't do anything.
Yeah, Jackson. You see what I'm saying? Jackson didn't do anything. And listen, on the 25th minute, the commentator even said, that we've had a good start, we've had a good shape off of the ball, and we're basically holding our own. You know what I'm saying? In the 39th minute, bro, I'm taking notes of all of this, you know, with Enzo. In the 39th minute, bro, this guy switched to him.
It gets like that. It gets like that, bro. It gets like that because honestly, I'm tired, bro. I'm sick and tired of it.
I don't know why you guys get so triggered so quickly, man.
Bro, because no, hold on, yeah. Just before half time, yeah, there was this one switch that he did to Madueke as well. Because I remember when I was in the ground, I was like, bro, that was a good ball, yeah. So like I said, in that first half, the midfield held their own, yeah.
Was that the one he had to stretch out to get Madueke stretched out for?
Yeah.
And that was on the touchline.
Yes, that was a long ball.
Then he won a corner off of Ake, I believe.
Yeah, that was a long ball. That was a long ball there from Enzo Fernandez. And then in the second half, we actually came out and wanted to be a little bit more aggressive. We were trying to actually play this time rather than just sitting back, is what I noticed. You know, the patterns were quite good as well. You know, but again, you know, we just weren't good in front of goal. Like it's hard for me to be, again, like Ads has said, to be mad pissed off and whatnot, because like I've said to you guys, nothing's going to change this season. I'm going to be there week in, week out, supporting the boys because it's my club, it's my team. Yeah, and I love the club. But it doesn't mean that I believe things are going to change, because one week it's going to be missed chances. Another week will be an injury. Another week will be Poch messing up with the lineup. Another week will be this. You know, there's just too many problems for us to fix, Jem. So I'm just right now, like I've said, I'm just hoping that we somehow just finish off, you know, nicely in the league. But apart from that, bro, nothing's going to change this season. These sort of performances are always around the corner, bro. They're always around the corner, bro.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
I want everyone to understand, and they bet, and this might be for any Chelsea fan older than 2025 or have done the research. The sooner you accept that Nicholas Jackson is this generation's Solomon Kalou, the better. Okay, and what I mean,
you know how long I've been saying that, Andrew? You know, he
will get into positions, but he will have a conversion of 1 in 6. He will frustrate you, but he will still score important goals. So as soon as everyone accepts that, the better, because he is not a number 9, a fluent number 9 that we're talking about.
No,
he's not.
He
will work well.
It was us. It was the fan base that gassed him in the thing. Oh, he's the next.
Yes.
If they would have said that he was Kalou, everyone would be all right with what he's doing right now.
Oh, yeah,
he's not clinical like a Drogba.
Couch. It was the wrong Ivorian. They said Drogba instead of Kalou. That's what they said. That's what they said. It's Kalou. As soon as everyone accepts that he is not clinical, which he isn't, but it's still a good player.
Let's talk about it. let's talk about it because yesterday
it's where it is, yeah, Jen. Before you go in, bro, it's just where it is for me. Like right now, like I said, it's not acceptable. The bad finishing and the bad, the type of chances that this guy can't finish. But we all know what Jackson is. That's why for me, getting mad at it now is just fake outrage. I know he's not a good finisher.
It's not even mad at it. We know
what he is, Jem. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's obviously not acceptable.
I'm not dissing Kalu. I'm not dissing Kalu. I'm just saying.
I'm not accepting it. I'm not accepting it, Jem. But when I see these misses, bro, we've been seeing it all season. What's new? What is new? Is my point.
But it's not about what's new. It's about what the issue is, and it's been the issue for fucking about 3 years. We haven't had a good striker. But at the end of the day, everything else in his game and what he did, the dropping in deep, receiving the ball, carrying the ball up the pitch, all of that was great yesterday, by the way, because he done that very well. He led the line very well. It's just these moments where the ball lands to him. And look, listen, if it was Cole Palmer, it may be the positions he's with, or Nkunku. And I keep stressing because people go, we haven't got someone that would score goals in the team. We actually fucking do. Just don't see him because he would have scored. I'm telling you now, he would have scored 1 of 4 of these chances that we had yesterday. That one, this one specifically, because his body shape's all fucked up there. I don't know what he's doing there. Look at him. Look, the way he's even like opened up. He's not even opened up his legs or anything. He's just like, I don't know what he was trying to do there.
I don't know about these stills either, though. Like I don't like looking at
this
stills.
one was just too much time. Well, too much time because he had too much time. He missed that. For me, that was the one from Enzo. Funny enough, where the ball got played into him and he was running on.
Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think it is with Jackson, bro? Yeah, I think Jackson.
And Chilwell can piss off because that is ridiculous.
Oh, Jen, hold on. Don't even go into this grenade yet because I've got a segment. We have to have a segment about this man. He's got to go. Yeah, first of all, we've got to have a segment about him. But with Jackson, bro, apparently the type of chances, Do you know what it is about Jackson? The type of chances that he misses, honestly, bro, like how I look at it, I honestly think he thinks he's scored before it's even gone in. He forgets the job. He forgets the job he's got to do. He in his head, he thinks he's scored already, bro. Yeah,
too many touches.
Over here, bro. Go closer to the keeper. I don't know why he's trying to bend it around him from so far out. Yeah,
isn't that the one he tried to round him? That's the one he tried to round him.
Nah. Those see, the stills are so similar, man.
This is the one he tried to round him. Like,
okay, this one he tried to round him. Yeah, okay, cool. But this one looks similar to the other one. Right? This one looks similar to the other one, where he tried to just place it, he tried to finesse it.
I don't know what he was doing there. This one,
do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, this guy, like I said, bro.
Yeah, this is
end of the day. It's Jackson. This is what Jackson is, bro. I can't get mad. I just can't get mad because I know what he is.
Oh my god! Look at the body shape. Can you imagine?
The one for me wasn't even like these ones are gilt edge opportunities, but that header. Like
this header is inexcusable.
About that header.
That's like the most amateur looking header of all. Like, and it's always like that with this guy. It's like any striker that I've ever seen play football knows how to put their head on the ball and position it into a corner and stuff like that. This guy always consistently either heads it over top of the net when he's inside the 6, or he heads it right into the keeper. He never tries to angle it. The one that he did score off his head was the one that when it just basically bounced off his face and went
Brentford.
It's like this guy.
That was some good movement, even against Aston Villa. Even against Aston Villa. Yeah, even against Aston Villa. That goal against that header. No, we can't say that. We can't say that. It was good.
This guy cannot hit the ball.
He can't hit the ball. Like his technique for heading isn't It's not good. Heading isn't good. Like I'll give him credit for the Brentford header because it was a good header, but like even the way his body position is, it just looks awkward, and he isn't a natural header of the ball. And also, people don't talk about the fact that he's got no left foot. Like it's awful. And like I have to look at the ball because of course I blame Jackson because he's the one that's in front of goal. Poch can't make him shoot that. Our technical directors can't make him shoot that properly. Like, it's down to him. But at the same time, they're the ones who scouted this guy, and they brought this guy in, and they've made him our only number 9 this season. Again, we had Nkunku, but we've seen Nkunku's been injury from. We cannot trust Nkunku. Yeah, of course not. But this is the point I'm trying to. Wait, guys. This is the point I'm trying to get to, though. Wait. Let me get to the point I'm trying to get to, right? So again, we understand that Nkunku, if he was fit and playing, he would have scored those chances. But again, we saw at the end of preseason he got injured, and we know his injury record from Leipzig, and also this season we couldn't trust him. But
Yeah,
yeah,
of course.
in the January, we made our squad weaker because we let Broja go. We also let Maxson go, by the way, but we didn't replace it. And I was there crying every single day, get a striker in. It doesn't matter who they are. Just make sure that they're 6'1" plus and they have some experience. That's it. Because again, people are like, oh, if you get Gerard Moreno, if you get any of these guys in, blah, 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 like they're not Chelsea level. It doesn't matter. Just getting anybody who's good at their craft and can finish, because any of these 3-4 chances, they would have scored. And that's the point I'm trying to make. That you can get onto Nico Jackson.
It's not any striker will do for me, man. It can't be that. You can't just continually put
you
money
can,
into
you
striker,
can
put
if
money
it's
into
if
a
it's
striker.
but this is the point though. This is the point.
Get
Again,
the right
last year in January, we went and spent 16 million, I believe, on Felix for just 6 months. We splashed out on Felix for 6 months. So why in that season can we do it? And this season when but this is the point I'm trying to make though. It's clear this season that we are missing a big profile, one of the most important profiles in the sport, which is a striker who can score. And also when we're winning a game, let's have a striker who we can go long to if we need to try and relieve some pressure. We don't have that, and I'm like, you can get any striker in who would have done that job. Like, okay, not Callum Wilson because obviously he's got a very bad injury record. But again, players of that ilk, they can come in for 6 months, do a job. I'm not saying they're going to stay here. Again, that's why I call it a 6-month loan. Anybody that you would have got in to do that job, he could have come in a game like this and actually played, because Jackson, he's been overplayed these last few months. We know that. He's been overplayed because we're not trusting Washington.
I don't
and
think
Nkunku isn't here.
We can just get somebody
we don't have any
6 months and rent a striker. Like
you can when you sell Broja to Fulham. You can when you sell Broja to Fulham for 6 months. You can get somebody in on loan. You can.
That's a loan.
The reason why we sold Broja is because we need the money. All right, it's simple and plain. We need the money. Right, and
he's crap as well. And he's crap as well.
Yeah, he was playing good. He would have kept him.
Maybe, but maybe not. You know, the reason why we haven't gone in and got a striker for in the January window because we didn't have the money. We didn't have the ability to do that. So for me, like just getting any striker 6 months here, like that's just a waste of money for me right now. It's a waste of money. Get the guy that you need one time. Don't be wrong about the next
I disagree. Because again, you're somebody who backs Poch, right? You don't not even backs, but I'm saying you're somebody who gives Poch a lot of allowance for the season because again we haven't got the players and all of these things, right? Which I understand to a degree, right? But I'm like, if you want to judge Poch fairly, don't let him have the excuse of Poch coached the win here, but the striker didn't score. No, get him a striker who can actually be a second fiddle to Jackson when Jackson is overplayed and clearly isn't a good finisher on his head, on his left foot over with decision making. Get in a striker who's at least got some seasoned experience, and then we can judge the season properly.
Yeah. I don't agree, but anyway.
I agree with ads. I feel like you can't really leave the team hanging like that in the middle of the season.
But what if they don't have the money to do it? What if they don't have the money to get the
We're saying that the club doesn't have 5 million spare to get a loan?
Adds an agent. Let me ask you
number right now.
Adds an agent. Let me ask Adds an agent. Let me ask you a question, yeah, because I hear what you guys are saying. I agree. Okay. Yes, we should have gone and signed a striker. Look at the market in January. Who would you have brought in? Because we were all talking about Benzema, which I thought they were going to try and go in for Benzema. I would have been happy with him because he's a better finisher than anyone. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but who could we have gone and got in January, bro, on a quick short-term fix?
There's so many guys you could have got out there, and you put the money up.
There was somebody that we could have got. We're not going to sit here and say, we can't get somebody. That's not facts. There was if we pull up a list of what was available, we could have chosen somebody.
And by the way, there's guys who are settled at the clubs. You probably are thinking, I want to leave in January. But if Chelsea come calling and go for them a decent, I'm not saying overpay like we did for Felix, which I think was a 12 million loan or whatever for just 6 months. But again, for 5 million loan and decent wages, you could have got anybody out of their clubs that were like playing at a decent level, but again, guys who can actually finish, guys who are like 25 years plus, who are 6'1" plus and fit a profile and who can actually finish decently. Again, whether it's Taremi, whether it's Gerard Moreno, whether it's Patrick Schick, there's many strikers out there that you could have maybe got. I'm not saying you would have got all of those guys. I'm saying if you have a list of 20 strikers, you could have got at least one of them.
I hear you, but I remember talking about in the January market about strikers, and I am pretty sure the majority of us said there's no point of us rushing. If we don't get Benzema, there's no one available. We're just going to have to wait till the summer and just bear it. I remember us having these conversations. I don't think the availability.
That's my point, Jim. That's my point. We can't do revisionism now. That's my point.
I remember. The point is that we're not going to get the best option, but the point also is we can't leave the team hanging. What if Jackson got hurt? What the hell? What will we do? We lucky that he even made it.
What were the availabilities?
We're lucky that he's even made it this far. We can't change a game. We have
yeah, but then AJ, that's where you have to look at. That's where you have to look at the board, right? For spending what 17 million on Washington. I'm not saying Washington is the answer to all these questions, to all the problems that we've got right now. Yeah, but end of the day, the guy is there, right? Use him. You took him out of Santos. The guy was literally breaking through, about to go play first team football for Santos. We took him. Yeah, we decided not to send him out on loan. Every single day, he's there on the bench, just rotting away, not being used at all. And then he goes to play under 23 football and he's bagging every single week. Yeah, you're telling me that he can't do a better job than Broja, whose legs are finished? Because every time I look at him, he looks a lot more mobile than Broja. Again, I'm not saying Washington is the answer, but just give the kid a chance. Give the kid a chance.
And this is my point. Like, you can't make the excuse that we haven't got the money. Like, I'm trying to blame the board, not just for January. I'm blaming them for the whole season. If you haven't got money in January to buy a striker, then that's the board's fault for spending 70 million on a backup striker for the season that we don't trust.
Regardless of how you look at it, the money's not there. That's what it is. They didn't expect.
Yeah, and that's the board's fault at the start of the season for overspending.
Well, yeah, you're probably right about that. But the bottom line is the situation we're in January is the situation we're in, and just to say, just buy another striker. We need somebody for 6 months. It's just not realistic. That's all I'm getting at. It's not realistic.
I don't think 5 million is a tipping point that we can say we don't have that money.
You would like to believe
it was
that.
A case of,
1 second, guys.
I think it was a case of financial fair play showing its teeth at last. That's what it was. Because if you look at the January transfer window, hardly anyone spent any money. I think all these clubs.
There's nobody on loan that we could have got.
Well, who are we going to get? Benson was the only one, and the thing was,
he's the only one that was rumored.
Saudi
the only one that was rumored. The only one that we was talking about.
Saudi weren't going to pay any percent of his wages. It would have been on us. Well, who else would you have got out? Because bearing in mind that we weren't going to spend a transfer fee, because I think we took a step back to get our finances in line, so we didn't break FFP or profit and sustainability. So who would you have bought without smashing a transfer?
There's a market and there's a loan market. I don't know.
There's no market.
There's no market.
You don't know about the loan market?
There were options that we could have gotten. There were options that
you're asking to lose strikers mid-season.
You don't say a name. You just say a market.
I don't think
there was no market.
You know, that's the problem.
Andrew, you're not going to sit here and say there was no strikers that we couldn't have got. What are you talking about?
People are saying there's no striker in world football that would have done Chelsea.
What striker
saying there's no.
Who?
I already said. If you just look for strikers, if you just look at this, just a very basic template. Strikers who are 26 years of age plus, 6'1" plus. You're telling me there's none of them in the world that would have joined Chelsea for 6 months? None? Come on, like, you can even look at this league and say there's probably guys who would have joined.
Be honest.
But then we would have signed.
Whether it's this league or top 5 league, somebody would have joined.
Can we move on? This is
why did we sign him
this is
for?
not.
We wasted loan money on him. Oh my god! That's what would have
Like,
happened.
honestly,
I don't think that would have been. I don't think that would have been the case. Again, we're complaining now that a striker didn't finish chances, and he's the only striker we have available. Like, I think it's just foolish to say that it's not a mistake that we didn't. And again, if you want to say, maybe Couch is right, maybe 5 billion is a tipping point, and it would have put us in financial troubles, right? Cool. But my point is, again, January was an issue because we planned the season poorly. Again, like Don mentioned, 17 million on a striker, regardless of their age, 17 million on a striker, he sat on our bench and the manager doesn't trust. That's a mistake. Having Jackson as our striker for the season, as our only striker pretty much fit for the season, that's a mistake. You have to look at the board.
No way around it. Big mistake.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm telling the man them. We just have to wait until next season. Unfortunately, we're gonna be here, like I said, come rain, come sun. But this is what I'm saying, guys. You guys have literally hit the nail. Hold on, guys. Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head, AJ and Ads. Because bro, look at the mistakes that they've made. We just have to hope that these men can clearly see, and they have a 200-page thematic report, of all the fucking mistakes that they've made, and don't do that shit again. Don't do that shit again. Yeah, I'm giving these guys a little blind this season or whatever. As much as I wanted us to push for all trophies and push for the league or whatever, 1 game a week. I'm gonna say, cool. Do you know what? Say nothing. You lot have made mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes in life, but guess what? You learn from your mistakes. That's why I'm just baking off. I'm just glad
you're caught up to me now, Don. I'm glad that you realize it's next season, because
nah, bro. No, the thing is,
I'm glad you're on it now. But
the thing is, Coach, what you wanted. No, I get what you're saying, yeah. But what it was before, yeah, was Poch was making just so many mistakes, bro. Yeah, that were just unnecessary, right? Unnecessary mistakes. Yesterday, even with Gallagher on the wing, we were creating some good chances. But again, the in-game management. Why didn't you bring on Sterling and Mudryk on a lot earlier? Because Madueke wasn't having a good game. Yeah, and Gallagher was redundant, bro. I watched the whole of the second half. This guy was barely even getting on the ball, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And every time he did get on the ball, he's not looking threatening because he's not a winger. You know what I mean? These guys were so leggy. Man City was so leggy. Jackson was making John Stones blow, bro. He was just blowing him. You know what I mean? So
you know what the funny thing is though about that though? We wanted to see Mudryk on him. I was calling for him too at the half. I was like, yo, this guy's come on. The minute he comes on is the minute we can see it. He's not tracking the runner.
What didn't make sense? What didn't make sense in all of yesterday was that we set up how we did with Gallagher on the left. All right, people can say it worked from a defensive standpoint to a degree because of the quick winnings of the balls of Kyle Walker in the first half and things like that.
Whoa.
But we had no left side again. We couldn't attack down the left, and every time we tried to play the ball down the left, it broke down. We couldn't do anything, and evidently you could see that the game needed substitutions. We needed to have a Mudryk Sterling, but the way that we were playing the game yesterday, which confused me even more, is that you left Mudryk and Sterling on the bench, but we were playing counter football. Having one of them, I know they're not on great form, but in the way that we tried to play the way we did yesterday, it would have made sense to have maybe played a Mudryk or a Sterling earlier on. And just try to, have them.
Yeah, but Jem, this is the problem that you're gonna have though with Gallagher there, because Gallagher is Poch's guy, so he'll do whatever he needs to do to shoehorn him into the side. Because me personally, if I'm sitting there and I'm Mudryk, yeah, I'm fuming. How are you starting at 8 on the wing ahead of me, right? When I've been showing you recently that when you give me the minutes, I can actually do something. Yes, Mudryk has cold games. We know this. Like I said, when we played against Leeds, first half he was good. Second half he was shocking. That's Mudryk for you, right? But like I've said, he's not going to iron these things out of his game without the consistent game time. If he started yesterday and he's having a poor game, take him off, bro. You had 2 left wingers on the bench, but then you start Gallagher on the wing just to shoehorn him into the team. But then every time, every time, like you're saying, Jem, but every time the ball's going over there, he's not being effective. He's just playing it safe. He's not really doing anything, and that's not on him. That's on the manager for doing that. That's where you got to be proactive. But he's reactive. Bro, he brought on Sterling on the 86th minutes, bro. What is that really doing? We conceded and it's like, Raheem, go on, get warm. You're about to come on now. That don't make sense to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was very clear to see what we needed there, bro. You know what I mean? I'm sitting next to my missus. She's all telling me like, she's like, Gallagher's not doing much. And she don't even watch football like that. How can my girl say that? You know what I'm saying?
I think for me, before we get into maybe player ratings and we talk about players individually, I feel like we missed a big opportunity in the second half because there were times where momentum was certainly in our favour. And City, you could see that the 2-day recovery didn't benefit them from the Real Madrid game, right? Like we had an opportunity there to go for the game, and we were doing all right. I thought I'm not going to scold Poch for his tactics. I thought the setup worked fine. It's actually the lineup that I would have picked personally, so I'm happy with that. But I feel like there was a chance to change the game and be a bit more proactive and go and try and win the game, not just try and stay alive in the game and hope something happens. Because again, just staying in the game the way we were. Maybe we got another chance, but we can see that Jackson wasn't going to score on that day. Like he wasn't going to score. So like maybe you bring on a Mudryk, whether you bring on a Sterling, whether you just try and do something. Again, you take off Gallagher, you can still, if you go a goal ahead, you can still go back to that tactic of a midfielder on the wing to be a bit more defensively solid with Carney. Carney's there on the bench, so you could have gone attacking. Let's say we score, go back to being a bit more defensive with Carney there. But again, Poch, he just sort of waited on his laurels, and I'm not going to say that yesterday was his fault. But again, it was just another example of a second half where the game's going away from us and he doesn't do anything to change it until it's too late.
It just seems to me
all season. This
it
guy
just seems
so
to me he doesn't trust the guy. He doesn't trust the squad. He doesn't trust the squad because I was calling for Mudryk too.
He didn't trust Maxson.
You know the thing that killed me was
Champions League semi-finalist. Boy,
he finally when did Mudryk come on? What, like 72 or something like that? In and around there.
Bro, I hate when Mudryk. Couch. I'm telling you now, when Mudryk has here you go minutes, he stinks most of the time.
Yeah, but
he stinks most of the time, bro.
Even when he starts, he stinks, man. Like it's
true. I've been telling people about Mudryk. Listen, he came on. I wanted him to come on, but Don, what was that last corner though, bro? Don, what was that last corner, bro? Bro came on and done a Saka, bro. Like, what is that about?
Yeah, that corner was mad, bro. I was fuming, bro.
Hold on a second.
Why does he even take corners?
If you guys can tell me this, that you don't trust him you're saying he's up and down, he comes in, he's good and he's bad. How do you expect a manager to trust him to bring him on? Big FA Cup. Like Sterling, I thought should have come on too, but he hasn't been playing the last little while.
Sterling's last 2 games against Man City, he absolutely roasted Walker at the bridge.
No reason why he shouldn't have been on. No reason why. No reason why. But my point with Mudryk is still valid though. Like we're all sitting here saying we don't even. He's up and down. He's somebody that we don't even know what we're going to get from. And we expect the manager, big.
Yeah, but the thing is, coach. Go on, bro.
FA Cup semifinal against Man City. You're saying bring him on now. Like, we should have brought him on. And then when you do bring him on, it's his error that leads to the goal.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, coach. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but you got to look at how the game was going. Yeah. That game was literally what Poch did tactically. Yeah, was spot on because we were the ones that were creating the better chances. We had the better chances. Yeah, we had right. But like we've said, in game, he had to realize that. End of the day, he can't run away from the squad that he's got. So what's he gonna do then? Keep Gallagher on for the whole game and basically he did bring him on. But what I'm saying is we should have had two wingers, right? We should have had two wingers and Jackson because all of our chances, our good chances kept falling to Jackson, right? The more attackers you've got on the pitch, the more chance that you're gonna get someone else scoring a goal because Jackson's not a guy to depend on. None of these men are guys to depend on, apart from maybe Nkuku in front of goal, and we've barely seen him, right? So you want to give Jackson the best opportunity to just relieve a little bit of pressure. Because, bro, he felt pressured yesterday, bro. And it's not an excuse because his finishing was poor. But I'm just saying, as a manager, he can't run away from the options that he's got right now. You can't look at it and say, oh, I don't trust Mudryk, so I'm not going to bring him on. Bro, these men were leggy, bro. They were so leggy. And like I said, that left-hand side was useless anyway. So what's wrong with just being a little bit braver? What's wrong with just, that's all I'm asking for. Just be a little bit braver, is what I'm saying. Mudryk was poor, yes, that's fine. But end of the day, he should have come on with Sterling at the same time. Well, they should have both come on together.
Yeah, well, what we do is, because we've got to get player ratings in as well, is obviously this, I don't want to talk about it too much because we still should have took our chances, but that, how the referee did not work out that when your arm moves away from your body and the ball goes between your arm and your body and it kind of like deflects off your arm and the body as it goes past, and it doesn't, and it's not a penalty, let alone a corner. He didn't even give a corner.
that was the kicker for me. Not even the okay, fine.
No, I was sitting behind it, bro.
Penalty, how are they looking at that and not saying that that's a corner? like at the very minimum, just give us the corner, please. You know,
we could all hear the sound of it hitting something. So how do you not hear that? I think okay, corner. Like it was just crazy.
Even how Palmer reacted, bro. Even how Palmer reacted. Literally, I was sitting behind it. I was like, what the fuck? How was that? I was like, how's that not a corner? Because I couldn't see what was going on. And I saw VAR, and I'm seeing it just waved off straight away. I didn't get to see the replay until after.
Yeah, it's a kick in the teeth. It was
it's criminal. Just to add as well, by the way, that like we saw something similar in the Chelsea women's game earlier because they played against Barcelona. And big up to them because they're the first team to beat Barcelona women away for over 5 years. So again, crazy feat from them. But we saw a similar penalty given, which was then later on to overturn for offside. But like again, if your arm's out and the shot's going on target, like there has to be a penalty. Like we've seen that given way too many times. So how it wasn't given, I will never know. But again, we're used to it, right? We're used to getting shafted at Wembley. So
by the way, that idea that he made himself see trying to make
towards his body, not away. That's the thing as well.
Exactly.
That's the excuse they gave. But
going out, it's actually coming towards it like that. So it's actually. He already
had. Is there any excuses? It's still outside of his silhouette though. Like the point is, it's still outside of his silhouette. So I get you trying to bring it in, but it's still there.
And the distance from the ball. The distance from the strike of the ball was the one that was like, wow.
Yeah. But I think they were thinking. I think they would have given it if the arm actually went out instead of coming in. I think they would definitely give it if it went out. I think they were confused that it was coming in, and then if they're confused, they can't do it. If they're unsure, because there's still a bit. I'm still unsure myself of 100%. I would have even given it. Still now, I'm not 100% sure. If they're confused, it's like no wonder they didn't give it. They're going to go with what the ref. I don't even think the ref saw it. I think it was VAR really confused. He said no.
Well, clearly he didn't see it because he was the one. He was the one that didn't even give the corner.
Yeah, he didn't see it. Even when they approached the ref, he was like he's just pointing to his ear or something like that. You know what I mean? He didn't see it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the player ratings to all of you, and if anyone wants to have a say, they can have a say. Because me going through each one of you is going, what do you think about Petrovic? Is going to take a long time. So, I mean, what I thought he had, when he was called on to make saves, he made saves. At the end of the day, he tends to do so, but I don't think he had that much to do, really, truly, throughout the game. I mean,
I was worried about his passing out from the back.
He used the ball out for a fucking throw-in from a goal kick, and I was just like,
his distribution is awful. His distribution
He's not the best
awful.
at kicking. He's not the best at kicking, but it didn't cost us. So,
I thought he made a couple of good saves. I think Oh, sorry, I'll let
I
you.
think
I'll let you finish.
if you think about the saves though that he made, I would expect him to make those saves. That's how you know what I mean. But they were still important saves.
Yeah,
give him
I agree. I thought he used his feet well at times to save a couple of shots. Again, to Jem's point, he wasn't tested too much earlier in the game because they didn't have a shot on target in the first half. So I thought he'd just give him a standard 6 because we did play out the back a lot. So there were times where he just needed to make a couple of okay passes out the back, which are fine. At times he did. I think he did stitch up Silva in a bit of a shaky start for us at the start of the game. But other than that, no, I'll just give him a standard 6 because there was some good saves in there. And then with the goal, he does kick it. I'm literally watching it right now on my screen. He just kick it out. It's just one of them where like if he gets more on it, then it obviously doesn't fall to Silva. But hard to really blame him for that, to be honest. So standard 6, I think is fine.
Fairs. All right. What about this guy? Because I actually thought he'd done quite well, and I criticised him quite a bit. I mean, we all do slightly, but Cucurella yesterday. I mean, could he done better for the goal? Maybe in watching Bernardo Silva at the back post.
He could have. Yeah.
I mean, overall, I thought he done quite well. To be quite honest with you, I mean, what were your thoughts on his performance?
He gave us nothing going forward, like absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but he never does.
I hate that.
Well, so that's part of the game, though. Too.
Not good enough.
He's done well. Well, the last game he gave us an assist at least. The last game he gave us. I just think you can't give him a bigger than a 5 if he's not giving you anything going forward.
He made a couple of runs in the first. He made a couple of runs in the first half. He did make a couple of runs in the first half.
I can't remember one. I can't remember one.
When they overlapped, and he did make a couple of runs. Just there was no one in the box.
No, he did make.
Yeah, he just ran right down. He just basically ran.
Yeah, there was no one there to keep up with him. No one was busting the guts.
I mean, you make a couple runs. I mean, you got to give us more than a couple runs to the.
Yeah, but I think that was designed. Though that left-hand side was designed to be more defensive than the right-hand side. Obviously, with Gallagher there, but he also did a dodgy pass in the first half. As well backwards, and also
Thiago Silva.
Some of his marking he did miss Bernardo Silva in the first half on a run or something like that. But it's very I mean I'm fine with 5 or whatever, stuff like that.
I don't think it was that bad.
No, 5 or 6. I just don't think it was anything more than that.
I think for me it was like a better game than usual in terms of like overall, but like there were just some moments in the game where like again there was some poor passes. I think if you guys remember the Alvarez chance in the first half when he rounds the keeper, like it's a very good line that we actually played to play him offside, other than Cucurella who's just that bit deeper. So there was that, and then obviously the goal where like he's kind of caught ball watching, and obviously then he watches the ball, but then it takes a deflection of Petrovic, and then Silva's free. So I think overall, like he probably played a 6, but I have to give him a 5 just because, again, key moments, you did give them big chances and they took one of those big chances. So it's just one of them. And again, like I said, going forward, we don't expect nothing, but he also doesn't give anything either. And he probably should give us more going forward.
He has to give us more going forward. And like Couch said, there has to be a cap on how much he can receive as a rating if he can't go forward. Like, you just can't do that.
But AJ, somebody who can go forward? Somebody that can go forward. Again, I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a clue. They're in a Champions League semi-final as we speak right now. Oh my goodness! I won't say no more than that. But this manager was playing him right wing. Hey, listen, let me not run.
What about Thiago Silva? He obviously cried at the end of the game. It was probably one of his last cup competitions at his club. I mean,
last chance to Japan in Europe.
The fuckery in front of the goal. That's why he was crying.
Madueke's laughing with Grealish in front of his face. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, overall performance of Thiago Silva for you guys. I mean, I thought it was a strong 7.58 for me personally. He had that little bit shaky at the beginning, but what I like about Silva and why I wanted him in the team a lot sooner is just because he's this a lot of the time. He just has that like way about him where whoever's next to him as well seems to just play a bit better. It's just like I don't know. I thought Thiago Silva.
No, you're right. Yeah. He definitely the past couple games because remember he got dropped because he was looking suspect, but he
got dropped because he got injured. He got injured and then they didn't bring him back.
He got dropped because his wife,
and then also the wife's comments as well a bit were
his wife
played a part in that as well.
Wife done him over.
I think it was a combination of all three, to be honest.
Yeah. But I mean, he's put in some good performances over the past 2 weeks, I think. So, I'd give him a 8. I still think it's easy to get past him, and that's the only thing. Like even a couple of those through balls, like that one from KDB, I think that's a great ball, but it's those little things still, I think it's easy. It's easier to get that around Silva than other center backs, and that's the only thing.
Fez?
Before we move on, I just want to make mention of the fact that, listen, like Couch said during the season, obviously you can be a bit slow on the ball at times, but I feel like a game like this, the times where he did take that extra touch on the ball to be a bit composed and pick out a pass, like helped us get through the press. When you think of that Nico Jackson chance in the first half when he rounds the keeper, I mean, it's just horrible, right? Obviously, it's a great ball from Enzo, but it's actually the composure from Silva that makes Foden dive in, that gives Enzo that space so that Enzo can actually pick up the ball, like get his head up, and then actually pick out the perfect pass to Nico. Like none of our other centre backs have the composure or the foresight to actually just make that kind of pass and give our midfielders time to actually then pick out a killer ball. So I have to big up Silva for that. And yeah, I think for me,
it sounds like you're watching the game right now again. But like you're right about that. And I would say
no, I made note of it at the time, but I'm also like what I like to do during these streams is actually watch the game back as well, just to pick up little things that I missed. But no, I made note of that during the moment it happened because I was like, it was rare that we actually got Enzo or Caicedo in space through their press, like in the first, because obviously they were on us for the most part in it. But that was great from Silva. We seen him do that a lot for us, and again, none of our other centre backs can do that, which is why. Again, I rightly scored all of them because they're not at the level of a 38-year-old who has clear deficiencies. But again, just for Silva for today, yeah, I'll probably give him an 8 as well. I thought he was solid.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, just on the point of him playing out for the back and playing slowly. In a game like that's the tempo you want to play at. I'm sorry, I don't want to up and down helter skelter game. So that was the right tempo, and then also his line breaking passes were excellent that game.
Yeah,
I gotta give my kid an apple. So carry on.
Trevor Chalobah, guys. Again, look, someone that's been sort of shoehorned in and out of the team. Again with Silva after the Everton game. We were talking about it in the match preview, and we all said if Disasi's back, play Chalobah still, and we all thought Disasi would start because he seems to be favoured quite a bit by Pochettino at the moment, but. I thought Trevor Chalobah had a good game yesterday. Like I said before, I felt he read the game quite well. When they got in the box, so they like to do them little intricate like flicks around and then cross the ball into the box. You know, them like little runs from Silva and Foden and stuff that can hurt you in the box and equally lead to a penalty if you do something stupid. He seemed to just read it very well, stand off and just judge. He just judged it better. He just seems to just be grown. For me, Chalobah's like I keep saying, I would preferably like to have Chalobah as a squad player at Chelsea. I don't think he's someone that can always play it for us, but I think he's decent to just come in and like do a job in many ways. And if you look at the quality of the defenders that we do have at the club, and I'm talking about the younger ones, minus Silva, I don't think they're few in terms of a quality and ability. They're few and far between, in my opinion, for spending money to bring one through the academy. Does that make sense? So I thought he played quite. I thought he played quite well. I thought he had a good game next to Silva, and that's because they've been playing with each other for a bit longer than the others. Let's be serious, couple of seasons now. But I mean, what were your thoughts on Trevor Chalobah?
I did listen. I can't think of him making many mistakes or anything like that. He was good on recovery, one-on-ones. I can't remember him being beaten a lot at all. Won most of his headers, if not all of them. I can't remember him actually making any mistakes. I thought he was better than Silva yesterday. My opinion. So I don't know what we rated Silva, but I think he goes above him, whether it's 0.5 or by 1. He definitely goes above him. I had no issues with him. People were like going when Gusto was off, why don't we put Chalobah? I was going to put Chalobah at right back, and I was thinking, why would you move him out of centre back when he's playing so well to play right back?
But,
I've got no issues with Trevor Chalobah. Maybe selling these hotels means we don't sell him in the summer now. Do you know what I mean? So, I
just I'll let you go.
No, I finished. Go ahead.
Oh no, I thought somebody else was talking, but no, I agree that he was better than Silva. I said I gave Silva a 8. I think maybe I should give Silva a 7.5 just because I think Chalobah was an 8. Again, he had 4 block shots. Was good at covering the channels when Alvarez did run into the channels. Decent on the ball. Also created that chance, or at least led to the chance that Palmer had when he skinned Rodri, which we will get into as well. But Chalobah was solid, man. Like obviously, I talked about him a lot already. I guess maybe other people can have their say on him too. But I'd give him an 8.
Yeah, it was good. I thought he had a very, very decent, more than decent game. I just feel like, we weren't really threatened. Like, I don't think that City were very good, and that's part of that's part of the disappointment in the result, is because had we even taken a couple of those chances, like they would have folded, right? Like it's just, I don't think that we were put on an immense amount of pressure, and we still didn't have the ability to find the back of the net. But here we are. Chalobah was good though.
Gusto. I mean, I love this guy. I really do. I think we were talking about signings that we've brought in and doing well with the signings, this is one of the players that I would say is just
standard.
He's just so, for me, he's just so good. Like, and what I've noticed of him, you can see he's even improving his game study before when he first came and was playing to where he's sort of now in his own game, because even getting he's reading of the game of getting forward and getting back's good, knowing when to go, when to not, when to hold position, when, like, as before when he first came in, I thought he was a little bit just unsure in him, you know, in that maybe was just because he needed a bit more drilling in systems, a bit more time.
He needed that time to adapt.
But when you talk about the raw talent of him at nearly 21 years old, I think next month, right? When you look at the raw talent and the ability of the right back and what a right back's roles are in, you know, in terms of what they're meant to be doing, it's fucking quality, mate. It's just quality. Like, he wins balls, he drives up the pitch, he 1-2s, he runs past Madueke, he opens up the pitch, he gets back, he's strong, he doesn't get beaten all the time as well. He's just
there was a chance in the first half where it was sort of the same situation as Chilwell, but he actually looked up for Jackson. It was just the ball just didn't quite get there. And it's just,
Reece James makes that ball, by the way. Reece James makes that ball.
Yeah, I understand that.
The timing was off too.
I don't know. Him and Madueke just didn't seem to click that much yesterday.
Yeah, there was a couple of sloppy offsides as well that they had where like they could have worked it better. Like, honestly, I feel like again, everything guys are saying about how good he's been this season and like his skill set, which we did see yesterday as well. I agree. I think he's a top quality right back, and almost, not quite, but almost to the point where we can say, oh, does Reece James get back in? Or I think Reece James fully fit, fully firing, comfortably gets back in. But I wasn't that impressed with Gusto yesterday, to be honest. I thought like he wasted some opportunities where like I'm used to seeing him put in a better ball. There was the chance that my man just mentioned as well. There was another one as well that he could have done better with in the first half. So I would probably give him like a 5, just because again, when we look at Chalobah, we probably rank him up because we expect less. With Gusto, I expect more.
Exactly.
That's why I'm gonna probably give him a 5, to be honest. Because again, I don't think he was bad. It's just
5 though.
The chances.
I'll say 6.
You can give him a 6. That's fine. I'll give him a 5 just because there were chances for him to get an assist okay, not even an assist. Let me put it like this. There was chances.
7's too much.
Let me put it like this, right? There were chances for him to like get an assist.
7's mid still.
Well,
has he
lost your ads?
Who muted ads, man? You guys just muted off the ads when he's trying to finish his point. That's rude.
But I think he's talking. He's talking. Ads, you're talking. I can't hear you.
Yo, can you man hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
No, you missed your chance, man. You missed your chance. Hold on.
No, somebody was belling me in it. That was mad.
Finish.
No, I'm gonna have to call them back in it. But no, just to finish my point, listen, like obviously, like look, Gusto, we know his quality in it. My point is that he had some chances to make assist-worthy passes, and again, whether Jackson would have finished them is another story, right? He probably wouldn't have, but I think for his quality, I just expect a bit more. No, there were 2. There's a second one in the first half.
I agree.
I love that we can expect more. I love that we can actually expect more from Gusto. Like that's what I
just got one comment to
from a guy who was meant to be a backup right back.
It's simple too. Like he is a decent right back. He gives you things that you want in transition, forward, defending. The one thing that I'm not really impressed with is when he shows men onto their weaker foot all the time. Like, how many times have you seen him get done going inside? And yesterday was another example of that. There was at least one more opportunity yesterday where I think it wasn't whoever it was. Who was on the left for them?
Grealish.
I can't remember. Grealish just like dummies him inside, and like you got to know that he's trying to come inside there. You got to show him on his weaker foot there.
He goes both ways,
and it's not the first time. It's not the first time I've seen him do that, though. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I don't like about this game.
You know what that is, and for that game, I agree with you. But that's just I've noticed that in every single fullback, they always show the guy.
Every single fullback.
Show him to his weak, and it frustrates me as well. It's like why would you do that? Grealish is left-footed, so just show him on the outside. Or
he can't
what's
do it.
normally happen with Grealish is that when he doesn't get past anyone, which
Grealish is left-footed.
No, he's
No,
right.
passes it back.
Grealish ain't left-footed. Grealish is
right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
When-
about. It was
when-
that, but
when
when
Grealish
you don't
goes
show him
forward,
that and you show him on his left,
Yeah.
he passes back. So
What I'm saying is when Grealish goes forward with the ball, right? He naturally he does that thing where he's playing to the right, he's naturally on his right, but he cuts inside, right? What you're saying is Gusto's position is like this, where he's showing him that way, but not equally showing him, and he keeps getting caught inside.
He gets beat
But
inside a lot. He gets beat
If he
inside a
turns
lot.
his body position, if he turns his body position to that way, he can't defend like that, because if he runs that way, he can't turn his body around quick enough. So that's why they always have to go like this to show him that way. You know, and then just assume that he's going to try and if he does go that way, then they have to try and they can shift the body a bit quicker than turning your body around and trying to make him.
You're right.
You know,
You're right. You're not
can't
wrong.
do that.
Like he's often getting beat like that, though. That's what I'm saying. Like when he shows him,
I haven't seen it often though.
I'll show you. I can put together a compilation. Like
the only guy that I've seen really like give Gusto a torrid time really was when we played Leicester. Mavididi. Yeah, he was giving Gusto a tough time, man. When he cut back
come off
and scored,
pretty
bro.
upset yesterday. Didn't Grealish come off in like a frustrated manner yesterday?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
that was down to Gusto.
That was sort of the Caicedo challenge.
I know it's hard.
Again,
it's
again,
hard
you
to.
guys,
It's hard
again,
to
I'm
stop
not
guys
even speaking.
completely.
I'm not even speaking about his overall game. I just said that aspect of his game needs work. I like him as a defender. I think he's a guy that maybe obviously Reece James comes back in, but he's a guy that like you can't forget about. Like he's a guy that you have to find minutes.
If you remember when we signed him, we were told that he's actually better attacking than he is defensively. I think it's the other way around. I think he's better defensively than he's attacking. And it's shown it this season. Yeah. So
we never thought we'd have a player close to Reece. So I think it's
the quality level is so much higher. The buyer is just the bar from where Reece James is to there is like that now. It's close.
Reece James got the
left side.
All right, let's get into the two people that can't always do anything right. Caicedo to start with. Apparently to rivals, they can never have a good game. You know, they've been shocking. Caicedo, how do you think he played yesterday? Because I kind of feel like he got stuck in.
Again, not very good.
I didn't think he played well yesterday. I didn't. I thought he was a hot.
What was it for you where he didn't play well? Because I'd like to know.
I thought he gave away needless free kicks. I thought he gave away needless free kicks. That I'm sorry. I know he's not meant to score, but that attack and he's in the box. And I just say, just shoot. Just shoot. I've seen you shoot. I know you can shoot. Just shoot like that.
Yeah, 2 more moments like that. 2 more.
Yeah, and also some of his decisions, he went back to the previous Caicedo we've seen earlier in the season for me yesterday in most of his games. Yesterday when I was really frustrated with him. And I thought he's I didn't think it was a red or a second yellow, but he was very lucky because another ref or a VAR may have seen that follow through as another yellow or a red. I didn't think it was, but these VAR guys, they've got different opinions, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. We've obviously seen that follow throughs. I didn't think he couldn't do anything because his leg was in the air. So what's he going to do? Like fold his leg under or something? He can't. But I just listen. I think he really frustrated me on some of his decision making overall yesterday. And I was like, just remember where you are in the semi-final.
Yeah, he does do that all the time though in game, which is a bit annoying.
Bro, there was one pass in the second half. Palmer played it to him. Yeah, he had so much space, and then he tried to whip. I don't know what he was trying to do. He tried to whip it to Jackson.
Yeah, that's
and it just went off the pitch.
Talking about when he got in the box.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Bro, he was in the box to shoot. I don't care.
I was surprised he did that too. Because I rate, in the technique wise, I rate Caicedo. I think he has decent.
Yeah, he has got ability.
Strike the ball. So I was very surprised that he did that. Because I'm somebody who says this guy should be more of a box to box. So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, AJ. That's what I'm saying, AJ. A lot of these guys, they think the ball's in the back of the net before it's gone in there, bro. Yeah, and it's the reason why I'm having this take because, bro, I've been like that as a player at times. I get excited in front of goal. And you think you've scored before you've even done the job. Do you know what I'm saying? Or you think you've made that final pass before you've even done it. They need to compose themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a big problem. And I don't really, like I said, in terms of our patterns in the attack, it just looks sporadic, bro. It doesn't look drilled, bro. It doesn't look drilled, bro. You know what I'm saying? It just looks like it's I know you got to improvise and you want your attackers to do their thing, yeah? but I just don't see like
there was some good
consistent
You gotta
moments.
have an
dribbling.
idea of
Wait.
what we want to do. Like that's it.
There was some, in the first half. There was some very good and there was moments where Enzo Caicedo linked up very well. Caicedo got the ball, one touch football from the defense to them to Enzo, and then Enzo first time into Palmer, and then it opened up. Like there were moments where we actually played some really good football, like quick one touch football in between, and it looked really good. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like I've never seen this.
Yeah, on the left, Gallagher's even involved for one of them on the left, James. Remember that when we're building from the left, that was nice.
Yeah.
But then again, the final third, it just breaks down, bro.
It's funny because I'd say we have a lot of those moments every game. We have these moments where we play good, intricate football, but it never lasts. Yeah. And it's because it's not coached for it to last. It's just coached for it to just happen.
We don't have a DM. Because I think Caicedo is box to box, and it doesn't mean that he just goes forward and forgets that he's the DM. I just think he's natural to just be in a box to box, like trying to win the ball really back. He sometimes it's where it's so natural to him. I think sometimes it looks like he's not understanding his role as a DM, but I just think it's just that how he plays the game. He's just that guy. And this is why I agree with AJ for a long time. He's been saying, and most of his, he needs someone to sit behind him so he can go and do that. Sort of like, do you know what I mean? And you don't have to worry too much. But we rely on him to do the DM work and be the protector and the defender of the defense as well. And I just think, quite honestly with you, I think we were asked quite a lot from him in the midfield to do at once.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I agree. The injuries,
especially next to Enzo.
Well. You can't rotate him. Can't rotate him as well. Plays every single game.
I don't know. I think he's used to being asked to do a lot. Again, I'm not gonna just do the whole, he's 150 million, so he should do a lot. Like I'm not gonna do that. But like I get it, like skill set wise, he is maybe more suited to being a bit more like having a bit more of a free kind of role where he has a sitter naturally behind him. But if you look at his career, like for the most part, he is kind of the one with the most responsibility. That's why it was at Brighton with McAllister. He's the one that had to do the most of the sitting. It's how it's been here. Like for long enough, we've seen it this season. Like it's not new. We know that this is his role. And I believe even for Ecuador as well, that he kind of has the role as being the main sitter. So I get his skill set kind of maybe would tell you that he's a bit more of like a box to box, but in reality, he plays more as like the deepest guy, like the one with the most responsibility in midfield. So
I just think his energy could be used
like in a flat three in midfield, like an actual 4-3-3. What he'd actually look
maybe
like. You might see him better, like you said.
With him, maybe it's just a little tweak in the system, just finding how he can get the little like like ding, like I keep saying, little.
I don't think we've seen the full Caicedo yet. We haven't seen the full Caicedo.
The funny part of this is, Enzo was actually better than Caicedo on the ball yesterday. He barely got on the ball yesterday.
Let's go to Enzo Fernandez because he's playing with a hernia injury. We know that he's injecting it. He's playing.
He cost us the game yesterday, Jim.
He lost us the game. I forgot. Sorry. Yeah, it was all his fault. Oh my God, why did he let Bernardo Silva score? Oh my God, what's he done? Look, do you know what the issue is with Enzo Fernandez? And this is why all the rivals pick up. But they don't say the real reason. They just use it as he's never had any good games. Is that he came in last season, right? And when he came in last season and he literally landed, I don't think he had like 10 hours of training, if that. He was in the team straight away. I think was it Wolves at home or Aston Villa at home? It was his first game where we drew.
Someone like that. Yeah,
someone like that. Yeah, he came in. Since that day, this man has been playing every fucking game, right? Every game drilled to play, in that midfield because we didn't have any. We had no choice. He had to be forced in. And in last season, he was probably our best player in that last half of the season. And that can't be forgotten about. But the reason he's been picked on so much this season is because the qualities of what we've seen so much of him last season, being involved so much in the game, dictating the game, playing more balls over top, being more involved as well in the best of what we can do. Because I still believe if the best of Chelsea is obviously Palmer playing well, but also getting the best out of him. Because when you get the best out of him on the ball, he has this vision that no one else on the pitch has, where if you give him the ball, he knows what he's doing with it already. He's just going to do it. But I haven't seen enough of that Enzo this season. Because last season, the best of what we saw of him, he would pick the ball up and he would know that two midfielders are coming at him. He's going to flick it that way, and then he's going to play a ball all the way over to the wing, and whoever's on the wing, and we're on. Do you know what I mean? This Enzo that I'm seeing this season is one that's receiving the ball quickly from defence, but he's not really like, I don't know. He's just not sharp. And I don't know whether it's fatigue. I don't know whether it's like he's just suffering from from what we've been told with hernias or what. But he didn't have a bad game yesterday. He was just doing what he was told to do, which was sit deep, pick the ball up.
Tactics.
And play balls over top. But because he's not up there assisting more or having shots, which is what the rivals think he should be doing, they're forgetting where he's playing positionally in that game and how he had to play and his role that he had to play in that game. You know, for
the
me,
type
he was
of football,
good.
The type of football we played last year
yeah,
is very different to what we did this year. It was way more methodical last year compared to this year, where it's kind of all over the place. And I think that affects players who like control, like Enzo. You know, his passing options aren't going to be the same. Yeah. The angles that happen in the game aren't going to be the same. I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think you know what I said about Caicedo, I think he would actually benefit more for a flat 4-3-3, if I'm being honest with you. I think he would have like Lavia behind him, Caicedo doing the most runs, and he'd be the one trying to dictate play and passing. I think that
he wouldn't worry about that much.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be worried about
the thing is though, he's been asked to do a job, and I've seen it all 3 times against City. He's done exactly the same job he's been asked to do, and he's played well in all 3 games. Yesterday, our tactics were to let City have the ball, break on them, like not really high press up the pitch, but in the middle, breaking them and counter-attack. And he was part of that. And we did do that several times. Everyone's going, oh, yeah, well, Kevin De Bruyne ran off him for the goal. Okay, but it deflects off the goalkeeper into the path of Bernardo Silva, and there was no left-back covering Silva. I mean, it's like I said before, and they're not the same player for anyone who tries to clip me and stuff like that. But I now understand when some Man United fans are talking about Pogba. Like when everyone used to go at Pogba right away, no matter what happened at Man United. It's now, oh, Enzo came. Oh, look what you happened. You put Enzo in, you didn't play well. Or you put like, I'm hearing stuff like we played crap yesterday or something like that. It's like,
and then it's because they hold him to a high standard. They say, oh, it's because we hold him to a standard. No, he's not doing it.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense, Joe. It doesn't make any sense, bro.
Like, the thing is, though, it's like he will get criticized when we don't play well, but when we actually play well, it's like the big games. You don't hear anything about that. You don't hear it. Oh, you don't hear any praise. It's like all the games against City, he's played well in. He's done his job, and he's been defensively
poor, Bobby. I don't think he has been that defensively poor. You want my honest opinion? I think he has his moments, but I don't.
Bro, I don't. This all this is just a script, man. People see it on Twitter and they run with it. Yeah.
Same thing.
When you see Enzo fighting for his life, most of the time is when Poch creates all this fucking space between our midfielders and is literally fighting for his life. Yeah. Like AJ has said, he is not a transitional footballer, bro. He wants to play football and keep the ball ticking and literally tire the team out. Enzo playing for Man City yesterday. Oh my gosh, the way he would bust that game because he'd have all the time in the world. Do you know what I'm saying? And the players around him. He doesn't want to be doing this ping pong football. So when people are like, "Oh, Enzo isn't good defensively," I mean, yeah, Enzo isn't, a Declan Rice where he's Enzo isn't a Declan Rice where he's there to break up play. If you're creating all this space, you're going to see more of his weaknesses, and that's on the coach for creating that situation. But yesterday, no one is going to try to tell me Enzo defensively was poor yesterday. Like I said, I watched the game back. The guy was getting stuck in, yeah. And like I said, I even checked the stats. Yeah, he got dribbled past once. Yeah, so no one's going to try to come with this narrative that Enzo defensively this that because we know he's not a Declan Rice. So what are you expecting? I think people expecting Enzo to be able to do everything because he was 105 million. Yeah, that's why that's what it is. It's so narrow-minded. You can't look at football like that. Yeah, the 105 million paid for Declan Rice is completely different to the 105 million paid for Enzo Fernandez. And if you're a Chelsea fan, you should understand that. You should let the rivals carry on chatting shit, but you should understand the context. Enzo Fernandez is like a 50 million midfielder. That's what I judge him as. I know what he is, but people think, Chelsea paid 105 million, so that means he's world class. That means you're overrating him then. You're overrating him then, clearly.
Yeah.
And also, if Jackson had done it, if Jackson had been on his or a decent striker be on his game, he would have had an assist yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Do you know how many assists this guy's been robbed off since he's been at Chelsea?
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy, bro.
It's ridiculous, man.
All those compilation of big chances that we missed, he's got a load of them. That he's missed, but that he's created for people, and we fluffed it up. This is the whole thing. This is the thing, though. Everyone's like, he's not good defensively. He's asked to do a job, and he's done his job multiple times. Okay, has he played badly in other games? Absolutely, has he played bad in other games? The League Cup final comes to mind. He was awful in that game. I have no problem. But this is the thing. There's no middle ground in this fan base. He's either shit or he's superb. I'm not one like going, oh yeah, he doesn't do anything wrong. Of course he does. But
Yep.
yesterday, like in the two previous
finishing.
City games, him
Terrible.
and Caicedo were asked to do a job of letting them have the ball like they have been for previous two games,
Indeed.
and break them, tackle them, and go to counter attack. And we did that. I don't know what else
I agree.
you're supposed to do apart from score from the halfway line, Jim.
Bro, it's what Andrew, what they want,
People don't understand
what they
ball,
want,
that's
yeah,
why.
Andrew, what it is, what they want Enzo, because like I said, because he was 105 million, they want him to pick up the ball like Eden Hazard, run through everyone like Zidane, Iniesta, and that, and bang it in. That's what they want from him. That's the only time that Enzo's done enough.
But also defend. But also
he ain't done
defend
enough.
on.
He
But
didn't do
also
enough.
And defend like Kante.
Yeah, and then defend like Kante at the same time. Basically, he should be able to do everything. Enzo Fernandez because of 105
They want
million.
him to be a hybrid of Lampard and Kante fused together for entire 90 minutes. So
Oh
he's
my God,
up
that's
and
an
down.
ultimate player.
So he's like he's a marathon runner essentially like that. It's like just
It's just he's short. He's not actually that slow. He is slow, but he's not that slow. He's not Jorginho slow, and he's not weak, mate. He's not weak. He's not that
Bobby,
weak.
Give
He
us
holds the
two
ball
things
very
that you
well.
like about Enzo.
But-
Let's hear the other side. What do you like
You're
about
talking
him?
to a wall. You're talking to a wall.
This is what annoys me, right? So when
No,
people
let's
talk
hear what
about-
because he got a lot to say on one side. So let's hear the other side.
when
I'm hearing
people
your
talk
actual
about-
ball opinion.
guys, when people talk about the negativeness of a player and what they're not good at, does that not make you then think, is it system based, or is it like, how can they, if this is what you feel when you watch him playing every week, but then you've seen what you saw last season, which short-term memory loss with Chelsea fans, they all do it. They all go, oh, forget it. We forgot about that. We're talking about the now. Yeah, and I'm not trying to dig Bobby out for it, but I'm just saying we don't it's clear and obvious in the way that we've played and that I have been playing. And people go, you can't use fatigue because he's only been we've only played once a week in this, that, and the other. All right. Do you know how many international breaks we've had since the beginning of the season, and how many times that guy's had to travel to and I'm not trying to make it as a big excuse, but travel to Argentina to go and play for them, and then come back and then play 7 hours later for Chelsea because they arrive Thursday, Friday, and then we play Saturday.
And we have no midfielder, so he has to play.
King Prince has put it right. Watch how he was played at Benfica. I know you're going to go, oh, it's the Portuguese league. It doesn't matter. Look how he was played at Benfica and Arsenal and Benfica.
Did they play 4-3-3?
Totally different. It's totally different to here.
Yeah,
look how he plays for Argentina. Totally
Because I think
again.
Benfica and Argentina, they both play 4-3-3, right? I think
it's a flat 4-3-3 as well. I think as well.
Bro, Andrew, most of these rivals will take Enzo Fernandez in the half.
Not even just rivals though.
They'll take the fan base as well. It's just weird, man. Honestly, like we don't deserve this guy, bro, because this guy's a baller. But the way people talk about him is just crazy. It's just crazy, bro. To me, it's crazy to me.
He goes into the Arsenal midfield on the left of their.
Yeah, of course
he goes in on the left from there.
And the thing is, you know, so mad as well. You know what's so mad about it as well? Yeah, is like you said, Jim. Like, oh, I don't know about that. That's transitional, man. I don't know about that.
He went to that Liverpool field for me. Still, he was
he slots into there over Jones and Sloboslai. Like, listen, he might not be a quintessential top player, but he could actually do a thing in that midfield, 100%.
There's other teams I'm putting him in before I think of putting him in Liverpool system, man. And Man City is one of them. Like I said, imagine Enzo in yesterday's game. They wouldn't need no Akanji going into the midfield. They wouldn't need no Stones going into the midfield. He'll be the one dictating the game. Do you know what I'm saying?
But this is football, right? Like, there's teams where obviously players will suit that system more. Like, I'm still saying he would play well in Liverpool, but obviously, like, you're right. Like, teams like City, teams like Arsenal, he would suit them like a glove. And again, we just got to try and get more out of him because we've got the players around him to do better. It's just part of it is the system, part of it is maybe lacking a natural sitter. And obviously, a lot of it is also lacking finishers because, again, like Pogba struggled with United, which again is a good callback. Like, he would have many comps where he's just putting on assist after assist after assist, but guys are missing chances. And we have the same issue here, if not worse. Like, we have no proper finishers here, and Enzo's going to continue to suffer for that because people accept goals and assists, and he can bring you that.
He was asked to do a job yesterday, and he done it well. Again,
he was good defensively.
He was good.
Like, just to that point, like, KDB had way more joy against Real Madrid in terms of positioning. Like, he had way more joy in and around the box with Madrid. Like, but we snuffed them out quite well. So
you can't watch that game yesterday and complain against the midfield.
3 times against him now.
You just can't.
He's done it 3 times against City now.
Enzo should get the surgery, end the season, get the surgery, and come back.
And not just that, you know, like, all right, we could talk about missing players, like Nkunku being in the team would be equally important. Having a DM like Lavia behind them would equally be as important for rotation. Whether we stick to a pivot or go into them into a free where we have Lavia, Enzo, Caicedo, which is probably the dream in them games when you think about it at some points. But Like, you know, there's a lot that we need to just be patient with, guys. These guys are signed for 7 fucking years. He's only been here a year and a half. Do you know what I mean? And one half of it was amazing. Like,
Jem, I'll go back to this. With our injuries, we haven't been able to rotate Enzo and Caicedo as much. And they're asked to play full 90 minutes as well. It doesn't matter if we play once a week. It doesn't matter if we play once a week either. And look at, even when he came in last season, in January, we strip mined that midfield, and it was only him and Gallagher and Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing until the end of the season doing that. So he's literally come in and not been given time to acclimatise as much. But we've got to be realistic. This is why he's probably got a hernia thing as well, because he's been with the travelling and playing for Argentina and us, even if it's once a week. We still played in cup competitions as well, to like semi-final and the final as well. So we're still playing more games than even some other clubs have played this season. Do you know what I mean? So you have to put that all into context. You know, he's actually playing hurt. I thought this fan base would actually give him more credit. He's actually playing hurt, but I'm obviously wrong. Obviously, if you're from Cobham and you play hurt, you're fine. But if you're not part of it, you're not going to get it. If he's playing hurt and he's playing through that injury, good on him.
Playing through a hernia, people don't realise hernias are bad.
And that's an injury that directly affects your mobility as well.
Yep.
Exactly.
But yeah, just last thing from me on this is just that like, again, same way I criticize the board for how we've like paid for players in the striker department and like left us kind of bare bones there. Also left back again, we let go of Ian Matson, who for me is way better than Chilwell and Cucurella this season. I have to look at the midfield department and say that Andre Santos was right there. He fits how Poch wants to play in theory, right? He was doing good in pre-season, but we let him go twice. We let him go to Nottingham Forest where he played no minutes. It wasted him for there. And then when you bring him back in January, we have a midfield crisis. Leslie's out. Lavia's still out. Like, you don't keep him there. And you let him go to Strasbourg, where now he's getting Young Player of the Month and all of this stuff. Again, Poch and the board have to be blamed.
And then he brought back Caicedo. Bro,
and Caicedo, he doesn't even fit how we want to play.
I promise you lot now, yeah? If we knew what we know now about Enzo and his surgery, we wouldn't be... You know how, like, we don't really miss Reece James right now because we've got Gusto there, yeah? If we had Santos, no one would be talking about bringing Enzo in ASAP. They'll be like, listen, let Enzo bake off because Santos can play that role, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what I kept saying about what is the point in bringing back Caicedo? What is the point of bringing this guy back? We've got so many. We don't even use it. We've got so many attacking options. Like, Leslie. I told you guys, Leslie for me, I can see the potential, but he is not ready to play for Chelsea, bro. It's very clear. He's not ready to play for Chelsea.
Not ready.
You know,
he's the one who should have went to Strasbourg.
Yes, bro.
Who should have went to I mean,
and the irony is he's French. The irony is he's French, bro. He should have gone back home. You know what I'm saying? He should have gone back there. You know, it's crazy.
We didn't give Enzo a rating, did we?
Yeah, go on. I'll give
Enzo a rating.
No, we didn't.
Honestly, I don't even know what we gave Caicedo, to be honest.
Talking of Santos, I'm literally about to put the Strasbourg game on now. It's on right now. I think he started as well. Let me put it on, man.
Right, Conor Gallagher, come on. We spoke a lot about Enzo, and we shouldn't really get lured in by the fucking rivals about him because we know. Yeah. But at the end of the day, Conor Gallagher forced to play on the left. Not ideally his fault. He was out of position. How do you feel he played overall? I mean, defensively, did he still do enough for you guys in what was required in the system to stay on the pitch, or do you think we could have done better?
I thought he did. Well for a big part, especially the first half. But then when they started targeting our right, that second half more often, he essentially became not needed on the left.
Yeah.
So because they said we're not getting anything down the left. They tried down our left. They tried, but they weren't getting much joy. Let's go down the right. They had more joy. He effectively comes then, unless you're going to put him back in the middle, he effectively he has no place in the game like that. And then I was going, okay, that's when I'm looking back at it. That's when you go, okay, we're going to change it. Let's bring Chukwuemeka. Let's try something different, or maybe Mudryk or something like that. But I thought he did good for what he was asked to do. People are going, oh, we didn't get much down the left. He wasn't supposed to go down the left and bomb on and like do crosses in. He was there as a defensively double up to stop Walker bombing on down.
He was there, so 100%.
He did his job. I'll give him a 6.5. Like
and I was going to say that with that, you can't expect much, because again, if you're not giving us anything offensively, we can only rate you up to a certain point. And that's what we get from Gallagher, but that's the position he's put in. So I just don't understand why this goes to the end game management again. Like Andrew said, after a certain point, you seeing that Gallagher's on the field, but he's not really having an impact on the game anymore. That part of the game where he's impacting the game has passed. Bring on somebody else, you know, because now you're just leaving this guy out to dry. He's not giving us anything going forward. The control of the game, City is starting to take control of the game. So it's like, bro, do something, you know? So I'll just say he had a regular standard Gallagher game. I'll give him a 6.5. Like, you know.
You know what it is for me?
You know what makes your point, AJ, you know what makes your point even more? Because they started targeting our right side, that left flank was open.
Yeah.
It was
like,
open. It was
why is he here now?
Completely open.
They noticed the City players noticed that nothing was going on there. Like Kyle Walker, Kyle Walker could have played another 90 after that because no one burnt him, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Effectively, what I would say about it is playing Conor Gallagher off the left to stop Kyle Walker doing what he needs to do and being effective down the right and giving them width. I think what Poch did was right. Where I don't agree with it with Poch is when we play Sheffield United away. And you're playing Conor Gallagher on the left.
Oh my
God. Jem, hold on, Jem. Let me just say something. Let me just say something, Jem, because you lot are saying Gallagher was there for Kyle Walker. Yeah, that's the shit mentality we need to stop. We need to stop, guys. Yeah, because Sterling started against Man City both games, and Kyle Walker was constantly being pushed back because we had a threat. Right, and that's what you've got to do. You got to think about how your team can attack better rather than being scared. And that's what Poch was yesterday. He had to shoehorn his guy in there, right? Because I got to think of Kyle Walker. No, you saw what Sterling did. The thing is, I don't want Sterling in this team, but if Sterling started, I would have fully understood it because he's actually had a good game against City, right? Every time he's played them, and he's absolutely cooked Kyle Walker, especially at the bridge. He's cooked Kyle Walker. So I'm sorry. I hear your take. I hear the reasoning, but for me,
I wanted
that's not good enough. I hear it. I'm just saying that Jem should not Jem. Sorry, now you're making me call Conor Gallagher Jem. Gallagher shouldn't be getting a mad rating for nullifying Kyle Walker as if we haven't played a winger there before who's literally cooked Kyle Walker and made him not do anything. Is the point that I'm making?
Yeah, I hear that.
You know what though? I think the tactic actually would have worked. What they should have done as soon as Gusto went off and Disasi came on, that's when you put Gallagher on the right wing. You put him on there and double up because that was Doku was. Listen, I don't think Doku was okay. I expect him to get the better of Disasi because Disasi's a centre back. All right, I expect he's not a right back. I expect him to get, but he didn't do that much. But that's when I would have done like that. I would have put Gallagher on the right just to double up because we had nothing on there in terms of an attacking wise, and Madueke was not offering anything. Yeah. So that's what I would have done. But I'm surprised. I don't know about you guys. I thought he would have just kept Gallagher in the middle as the two previous games against City that we've done before. That's what my.
I mean, the irony of what you're saying is actually like again in watching the game back, I'm actually seeing how it changed once the subs were made, and actually Gallagher did like go onto the right. There were times he was in the middle, but like for the goal, he was actually on the right, and I mean him like I said, or the kind of.
Do you think he was knackered or just tired or just?
I mean, like the goal, they worked it very well. The goal, and it's one of them where it's like Palmer doesn't stay on a Akanji. Caicedo then jumps from KDB to then try and press Akanji, and then they play the ball in behind. Enzo doesn't bust the gut to get the Enzo does okay, but like KDB still gets the cross obviously off. And then Petrovic plays. It's one of them like it's very small details of that goal. It's not like anybody had a howler. It's just very small things that happen. But no, I do hear you like with how we should have used Gallagher a bit like more effectively. And again, for me, like I'm not gonna blame Poch or even say Gallagher had a bad game. I think for the game plan and for what we set out to do, it worked pretty well. And obviously, we take our chances, we look at it differently. But I said before that I didn't mind Gallagher starting on the left for how we use the left hand side. I thought it worked well. I've seen managers do it before. Like let's say even Emery, who's was doing this and was known for doing this in Spain, and also done it here with McGinn, where he plays a midfielder out on the side just to do a job.
But the thing is, the thing is, I hear that. Yeah, if it's a game in isolation, but like Gemma said, he did the same thing against Sheffield. He put Gallagher on the left. We know the reason why he's playing Gallagher because that's his boy. Gallagher has to play regardless. That's my problem. That's the problem that I've got here. And you know what? I spoke to you guys. The only role I'm playing Gallagher in against Man City is in that 10. Yeah, not even to create. Yeah, or hopefully to create. Yes, cool. But to stop Rodri, right? And the fact of the matter is, we didn't need him in that midfield yesterday. It was very clear. to see.
Yeah, because Palmer actually did a job on Rodri.
Palmer actually did a job on Rodri, and Jackson was dropping deep on Rodri as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So we could have actually played without him, because people need to realize Gallagher is not gonna be. He's most likely not gonna be here next season. Let's be real about it. But people are going on as if like we always have to play him, and you know, for me, we have to start thinking about next season. We have to kind of, you know, we kind of just have to move on. I'm not saying that's the reason why we lost the game. I'm just saying that I don't look at it like it was a tactical masterclass to play him there, because he plays regardless, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought it up, Don, because it reminded me of a conversation we had earlier in the season where it was around the cup games and like with Middlesbrough, and like we were talking. I don't know if it was Couch. I don't want to blame him because he's not here now to stand up for himself in it, but it may have been him who said that. Oh, like we gained from Gallagher being in the 10 because he presses well and like it helps us to create chances that way. And it's like you don't want your 10 to be just there to just press and create chances through that, because you can create chances on the ball. And Palmer, ironically, was pressing quite well and created chances through that. Maybe Gallagher could do it marginally better for sure, because he's great at that part of the game. But we saw again, we'll get on to Palmer what he did in the 10, but it's just more than what we get from Gallagher when he plays there. Again, just sticking on to Gallagher, like, but yeah, just to like tie it back into with Gallagher and his performance. Like again, defensively quite solid. Obviously, there were times when you needed him to do more on the ball, and it just wasn't there. Like, and obviously watching the game back, you just see it more like whether it was on the left, whether then when he moved on to the right. And he was like giving the ball away in sloppy areas, and we obviously see the deficiencies that he has, and that he doesn't ultimately suit how we want to play it in possession. So I would have given him a 6 just because he did a job and it was okay, but we need more.
Bro, there was even two phases of play where he got the ball in the wing, and he cut in, and he just cut in. He kept cutting in, right? And then he played it across to Gusto, so he passed on the responsibility. I'm looking at it there like, Sterling there, if he does cut in, will bend it. We'll try bend it and beat the keeper. He'll try shoot there, or he'll try go wide. Do you know what I mean? But again, that's not on Gallagher because he's not a winger. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm just saying that people need to. I know Gallagher's a useful guy, but for me yesterday, he didn't play in the midfield, and we didn't get outrun in that midfield. We still managed to.
My problem is
City nullified.
He wasn't needed after an hour.
My problem is when I talk about when we talk about our 10 and we bring up what he can do defensively first, I just think that's not football. Do you know what I mean? When talk about
facts,
10 and what he can do defensively, it's just not football for me. It's like when someone says the wingers, oh yeah, but he tracks back. He's defensively, he was good in that game as a winger, and I'm going, if you're bringing up that first, then I don't know what we're doing here. That's the point. And we proved yesterday Palmer can do that job. And I think Chukwuemeka can do that job as well in the 10. He can do that all aspects of the game. I just think if we isolate the game, just the game yesterday, not bringing where he played like on the wing against Sheffield United and stuff like that. I thought the first half he did his job and something like that. But as soon as they found out they weren't going to get anything down that, they moved to the other side. He was essentially useless. Do you know what I mean? Essentially,
see, look, Jem. This is what Poch and Data has just done to guys. Put up Bobby's comment, yeah. Put up Bobby's comment right now, please.
I saw it.
Put it up right now, man. Yeah. Gallagher is not his boy. He's the only midfielder we have with legs.
Every game.
Do people even watch our games, bro? Like Gallagher is not the only person that presses in his team, right? And if anything, he's not even a smart presser. He's erratic. If anything, if you look at Cole Palmer and how he presses, his IQ is spot on because he catches people out. Do you know what I'm saying? Cole Palmer came from Man City where they literally press high, bro. Yeah, Gallagher's not the only person that can press in his team. This narrative needs to stop. He might be the guy with the most stamina, the most legs. Yes, cool. He might have the biggest engine. He might have the biggest engine, but it doesn't mean that other people can't do it as well. We need to stop this narrative, bro.
Listen, Gallagher's energy is good to have. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a good player to have in and around. Like, you know, that sort of that like James Milner type player that just gets around.
Yes.
It's just headache. Like,
impact.
You know, having him in the team's good, but play him in the 10. And how many times have I said this? But we've played him in the 10 more than anything. And we're trying to play on the offense. We get the ball. Whoever it is, Palmer off the right gets the ball. He runs into a pocket of space that he's managed to find. And guess what Gallagher does? He goes and runs into it as well. The guy likes running into
space. Jem, put it this way. Put it this way. We held Everton held 6. Yeah, the moment we got moved out.
Good.
hold on, Jem. Yeah, Jem. Gallagher. We scored 6 against Everton. The moment he got moved out away from the attack. Yeah, he started against Middlesbrough in the first leg, and we lost that game. What happened? The second leg, he got dropped, right? And Cole Palmer was in the 10. We bagged another 6. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know why people keep going on as like Gallagher's this savior. We always need him. He's not that guy, bruv. He's not that guy, bruv.
He'd be a great sub. It'd be
Yeah,
great
Yes,
stuff to bring on.
that's what I've been saying that all
Let's move on to the next player, man.
Yeah, we will. That Everton game, for example, I'll just finish on this. That Everton game, for an example, of Palmer, Mudryk, Madueke, and Jackson was the first time in the Premier League that we actually played them four, by the way. Whose fault was that?
Yes, it was. Yeah, you're right.
We move on.
Then he changed it again. Then he fucking changed it again, man.
He changed it again. But anyway, Noni Madueke, I don't think he actually had that good of a game. I'll be quite honest with you.
Yes.
I thought he had good little moments where I wanted him to do more against Ake. Like he had to beat him. Ake's a good defender, by the way. But like he has the speed, the strength. Like everything was there for him to just go and run into that space and like, I don't know, be effective, bro. Do what you're good at doing, which is being direct with the ball. Like, you know, help us in that way. Like, and I just don't think he done enough of it. Like, he just wasn't really involved, you know, and I don't know why. Like, he had little moments, but even he looked very like, when he got the ball, let me just pass it. Like, no,
yeah,
get the
man,
ball and fucking run her. Like, do
he looked like he was playing in the show, which was very weird. Yeah. Coming from Madueke, because you guys have already seen what I've said about him. For me, I'm not going to change my take. I still think he's one of the best in the league in terms of beating their man, and all the stats prove it as well, right? Well, yeah. I mean, listen, all the stats prove it, bro. If you go check the stats, they back up the eye test. But Madueke is very direct, and even in the game when I was watching it back, the commentator said it. He was like, "Oh, Madueke, I like Madueke. He's a good player, very direct and whatnot." Yeah,
because the first time he got the ball, he went out and he won a corner.
He started very well.
He started well, but then I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's a mentality thing. It reminded me of when he played against Palace, right? The game before that against Villa, he played well because that was probably his best performance in the Chelsea top. And then Palace comes and he's back to laxy daisy. It's like youth club settings. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, bro, Noni, what is going on, bro? Because you should be like I said, Ake is a good left back, yeah. But Madueke, I still have the belief that he can, you know, one-on-one is dangerous against Ake. He can still beat him, you know. And I didn't see it enough from him. It was like he was reserved. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It was a bit weird, man. But zero take-ons, bro.
He needs to step in and like, I mean, I guess, you know, these guys are young, like his age, he's 22. But at the same time, these guys need to like accept that they're at Chelsea and like take the responsibility, because they'll show moments that they'll do it. And then they'll show moments like Madueke, who is just shy away from the game. And I'm like, bro, you started the game very well. I think the first 2 times he got the ball, he went right at Ake and he created problems. I even wrote in the chat, I'm like, yo, we need to get the ball to Madueke early and often, because he looks like he started well. And then he just faded out the game. Granted, we still created chances. So, you know, maybe the chances just wasn't flowing through him. But I don't know what happened, you know.
Madueke, I think he owed everyone a sort of performance after his antics on Monday. You know what I mean, with the penalty and stuff like that. And I would have thought it would have given him even more of a confidence boost that he's starting at Wembley in the semi-final against Man City. Take the opportunity. Do you know what I mean? You, Palmer, and Jackson are the attacking outlets because Gallagher's on the left. Be braver. I don't care about the stats if you lose the ball, but just try and do something. Do you know what I mean? Even if it fails, get another corner. Keep getting corners and corners and corners.
Step into the game, man.
Step into the game. Step up and step in at the same time. You've been given the go-ahead. Even after Monday, you've been given the go-ahead to start over like Sterling or a Mudryk or something like that. So get this confidence up. Start hitting some shots. Not enough shots were hit yesterday.
Not enough shots.
Yeah, but again, this is where
could take a nasty deflection and go in or something. Just be braver. Look at Palmer's shot against United in the last minute. Just take the shot. You could see.
Well, he tried one second off and they went into Rosette, to be fair. But I hear you, and I agree.
John Stones got a good block on one of his shots as well.
First half. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. And I think overall, I think Noni looked like he was part of the team. Like he looked like he fit into how we were trying to play. But you're right, that extra gear that he has in him to try and go at the player, try and make things happen a bit more, he didn't do. And like, I want more from Noni, because again, everything that we're saying about taking more responsibility, which again he tried to do with a penalty last week, but when it comes to this game here, you wanted to actually take responsibility on the pitch in the right ways. Did he do enough of that? Absolutely not. And that's why I've been so critical for the last year and a half now on the signing of him and Mudryk, because again, when guys like Kudos and even Anthony Gordon, ironically, have made signings, right, and have a bit more experience, and then you see them play with confidence and that, like, boom, I'm that guy, I'm going to make shit happen. These guys don't have enough of that. And I get the take-ons that Don is referencing through the season. Like, he's been a bit aggressive at times when he has the chance to do it, but did we see enough of it? Absolutely not. So I'm going to have to give him probably a 6, because I didn't think he was bad, but just I want to see more, way more, and he didn't do enough. Not
And
at all.
he's been getting a lot of praise over the last couple of weeks. So I don't understand why he's moving shy all of a sudden. I don't know. Maybe that incident fucked him up. Maybe that penalty incident, messed him up.
It was getting me so mad because I'm seeing him in positions where I'm like, bro, take him on, and he's doing this little thing, and then he's just passing it to Gusto, and I'm like, brother, it's you that's meant to be taking those risks.
Word.
You, bro, because you can do it. Do you know what I'm saying?
So let's move on to Tammy Abraham. Sorry.
Whoa. First of all, let's say that.
Tammy was very one.
But also two. Let's not forget let's not forget the main man, like in the midfield. Let's not do that.
I thought it was Tammy when I was watching him yesterday, but anyway, we moved. But...
Wait, why are you even doing that? Tammy's way better than him. Like in terms of finishing. What are we doing?
I'm not gonna lie.
What are we doing there? But anyways, are we gonna skip past Cole Palmer? Are we really doing that?
You definitely wouldn't bury that header. You wouldn't bury that header.
It was header, yeah,
100%. Tammy scored 30 goals in his first season for Roma. Let's not do that. Like, come on. This is a proper strike. This is a proper striker. Not world class, but better than Nico for sure.
So would probably Jackson if he was over there as well.
I don't understand.
He would and win a European trophy. I don't think so. No.
Go on, we'll go.
Tammy could finish, but he needed
exactly, bro.
It was similar to Watkins. So he had to keep
the last striker, other than Diego Costa, he's the last striker in recent memory to score 15 league goals for us. Like,
bro. I think
Lukaku didn't do that.
Forget about the hat
trick against. Didn't do that.
Morata didn't do that. It doesn't mean anything. I'm not talking about the goals here. I'm talking about the type of profile that we're watching. Anyway,
yeah, but I don't know what you were watching when Tammy was here, but he would have scored at least one of those chances Jackson had. Like,
maybe.
Defo. He had a lot more. Maybe, Jem.
But anyways, let me kick it off on Nico. Let me not even talk about Tammy. Let me kick it off on Nico. Right? Like, listen, if anybody wants to give him a 0 or a 1, I'm all for it. Yeah, no, 100%. Listen, if anybody wants to give Nico a 0 or a 1, I'm all for it. Like, I'm not gonna bury the lead here. I'm gonna give him a 0, to be honest. But and that doesn't mean that he was awful throughout the game. No, he actually did a lot of things well, like a lot of things that we've been talking about through the season. Whether it's hold up play, being able to drive under pressure, he did some really, really impressive things that I feel like, yes, it makes me be not happy that we bought him, but like, yeah, he brings something to the team, and like I like that we have him in the squad. But when you need your striker to actually bag and be clinical and be decisive at Wembley, when it matters most, he wasn't that. And again, we scolded Mount for how he did in some of the finals against Liverpool. Same that we scolded Gallagher earlier in the season where he bottled big chances, 3 big chances. I'm sorry, but Nico Jackson with the 15 on your back, again, you have to be that guy. You have to at least take one of those chances. And it was awful. And again, not just even that, some of the decision making on times when to play a pass was also bad too. So I have to give him a 0 because if a proper striker is there, we win that game comfortably. And it's just jarring, especially jarring off what happened on Monday. It's like, okay, you want to show that you're that guy. You have the moment there at Wembley, 3 big chances, and you think none of them. Awful. 0.
I agree. I'm thinking about it actually when you just said that. I agree.
Yeah.
We scolded. You're right. We scolded Gallagher in the League Cup final. Scolded Mount. You're right. We have to. Listen, all the approach play.
You have to keep the same energy. Yeah.
Approach play in the finals, all that, but you have to keep the same energy. I mean, everyone goes on about that the miss, like the side foot, but that header, Jesus sakes, that was like the Lukaku in the Champions League final. He's like,
again against Spurs, if you remember,
a header that's like someone like trying to head with their eyes closed and like down like that. That's what he did.
Under 10s football. Under 10.
Guys, he done it against Spurs away with a corner, if you remember it. To point blank out, and he just, I don't know.
You're right. Yeah, I'm fine. Give him a 0 because he cost us the game. Yeah. No one else cost us the game apart from him. He cost us.
And it's a shame because he did a lot of good things as well. It's a shame. That's why he did a lot that was good. But
give him a 0. I'm not going to give him a 0 because the thing I like, again, we always talk about it. He gets into good positions to receive the ball. He can turn his player, carry the ball, and he does that every game. To me, that shit is harder than finishing one-on-one.
It is.
It's harder to do that stuff. So that's where I get super frustrated. So I'll give him like a 3. But at the same time, he had more chances than Mount, than Gallagher in the previous finals. So the energy got to be way up for him because it's like, bro, like at some point you got to put the ball in the back of the net.
Bro, and he was getting some good chances, man.
I look at the technique, and then I look at, like, I be looking at his shoes. This guy doesn't even, like, tie his shoes properly. Like, I'm just like, bro, like, He's serious
Fair
about
enough, innit?
it. You feel me?
Fresh off the boat, bro.
He look loose. It's like, how you gonna strike the ball and the ball, your shoes is not tied properly? Like,
He's off, man. He's off. I'm telling you, bro.
It's just ridiculous. It's too lackadaisical.
How
I
do we
hate
find
that
these
shit.
strikers? That's what I want to know. We've always managed to find these type of like
The thing is, though, Jem. The thing is, though, Jem. What we paid for him in this transfer market. What we paid for him in this transfer market. He's actually over delivered for what I was expecting of him. So it's weird.
Expectations.
So what I'll do is, because usually we're giving him a 0, and I'm usually the one that brings him down. I'll be on the other side. He was great, man. He played really well. He linked play. He done everything good, man. He's our striker for the future, man. He just needs to practice his headers in front of goal.
Bro,
he'll come good one day.
In front of the goal and finishing drills all day, every day.
What about Cole Palmer? What about Cole Palmer? Some people think he had a very good game. Others are saying not involved enough in the game. Where is he? Jesus. Not involved enough in the game.
Let me take this. Let me take this one, Jem. Let me take this one. Yeah. Listen, I think Palmer was actually good. I think he was actually good. I think what it is with people, they're getting confused because they're looking at it like, he's always getting on the ball and we didn't really see much of him. Well, yeah, because we barely had the fucking ball. Do you know what I mean? That's why you barely saw him on the ball. Anyway. Yeah, but the amount of times I've seen him just passing it, making those progressive passes into the final third, like we spoke about Caicedo's like just a howler when I don't know what he was doing. That was from Palmer. Palmer played that pass. In the first half, there was this nice weighted pass he played to Gusto as well with his right foot. He created a chance for Jackson. So there was a few moments of quality on the ball, and even at halftime, they were speaking about him and what he was doing in the first half. And again, he did a good job against Rodri because it's not easy to play like that against Rodri because we all know that guy's got 6 eyes, bro. He knows what's going on at all times. Do you know what I mean? And he kind of helped to nullify him. So for me, I thought it was actually a good performance from Palmer. I don't know what people were expecting when we barely had the ball. If it was Man City, if we were playing like Man City and we had majority of the ball and Palmer's not really involved, then I would hear that take more. But end of the day, I've got to acknowledge that we barely had the ball. And every time that he got it, he was trying to make something happen. You know what I mean? And he was actually playing with an injury as well.
So would you give him out of 10?
Out of 10, I'll probably give him a 7.
He's set the bar so high, which is where he suffered in the criticism yesterday. Because I don't think, to be honest, yesterday he had a typical game for a 21-year-old talented player, you know. But he didn't score a hat trick, so that's where it comes in.
I mean, for me, like I don't maybe I don't know if I don't think I'm being too over gas when I say that he for me was the best player on the pitch. Like I think for what he had to do, obviously he didn't get as much of the ball as KDB or Foden, but for me, he was the best player on the pitch. Again, you mentioned some of the chances that he created, obviously done as well. Like so much of what we did, he was involved in. And people will forget that they may have been like key passes or they would have been pre-assists if we actually finished off the moves. But he did so much things high quality where it's like, this guy is crazy. And even defensively, I think he won 6 of 9 duels. Like he was winning the ball back a lot. Some good interceptions. Like again, like Don mentioned, he's a very smart presser, very smart trying to intercept balls. We saw it against Pickford on Monday. How we intercepted that ball and chipped it over him. Against Raya, do we see it all the time?
Though, bro, that was something. I swear, he just flipped it and didn't even get
exactly. That was, you know, he done that. He done that to Rodri, bro, in the box. And I was saying this here. The only thing that pissed me off was the fact that he tried to be pretty with it. Look, he's got a good left foot, but you see there, just fucking lace the shit.
Rip it, bro. Like
bang it, bro.
Stuff shit that we keep doing.
Yeah, this is what we've been talking about. Like I literally been talking about it all season with him, where it's like he can actually score way more because the way he tries to shoot, like it's quite pretty, but it's like you can actually, you know what it is? Like he does a lot of things in a one motion, right? Like you look at the first Everton goal, right? Like he did that whole move in one motion, right? Like when he went past Rodri, he's already telegraphing the shot, but it's like if you notice the much space that you had, like you didn't need to telegraph it that much. You could have actually like took a little bit more time just to put more power in.
You know what it is? So. Palmer has the ability to actually score more goals on the near post. Like because of how he drives the ball, bro. Like he's done it. The way he strikes it, he can just hit that. He can hit it.
Remember the goal against Don? You remember the goal against Newcastle?
Newcastle. That was near post. Against Luton, that was far post when he banged it. But he's obviously got the ability to do it. There, bro, just put your foot through it, bro.
Rip no shots, bro. I hate that shit.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
I keep saying that. It's like when you're in the box, if you got the whole goal in front of you and no defenders, passing it, side footing it that way is fine. But when you're in a box and you've got like literally like a second to make up your mind, just smash the ball like he did against Man United. When he just smashed the ball, he just hit it. He didn't place it. He literally just smacked. He just hit it as hard as he could, and it took a deflection. I'm right. I think you're right, though. I've seen loads of players do this. They always go for the far post. Just go for the near post, bro. Most goalkeepers are expecting to hit it to the far post. The way that up.
It catches it exactly. Most keepers in that situation would expect him to go far, right? And if you looked at Ortega's position in there as well, bro, he was so flat-footed. He was flat-footed. He was sitting there and thinking, "Yo, this is a problem right now." But then, because Palmer just it was kind of it wasn't really a pass back, but it was right into his path, innit? He didn't really have to do much. He just kind of had to kind of open up his body a little bit to save it, yeah. But honestly, that was a big chance that Palmer had there to score, and it would have been a good goal as well because he cooked Rodri. Do you know what I'm saying?
But listen, for me, just to bring it back to what happened for me yesterday, like I gave him an 8.5 just because, again, I think he was the best player on the pitch. Again, they gave KDB his token man of the match, but was he really that effective in the game? No. But other than the goal, what did he really do? KDB.
Hell no.
I know, this is what I'm saying. Like,
bro,
again,
how KDB got that is mad. It's crazy.
But this just goes to show how poor they were. Because again, look at the best players. Okay, Bernardo Silva scored, but what did he do other than that? Not much. Foden. They've been crying out for Foden to play in midfield. Yeah, let me. Yeah, I know. This is what they're doing. But again, just looking at even at their top players, right? So Silva, like I said, didn't do much other than the goal. Foden. They've been crying out for Foden to play in midfield, in the middle, alongside KDB, and he had an okay game, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination. And you look at their defenders, can't give any of their defenders man of the match because again, we created so many clear-cut chances past them. So for me, for Palmer, what he actually had to do, he did it very, very well. And I think you have to give him man of the match. For me, and certainly our best player, I'll give him an 8.5 because again, when he had to do something, almost always the execution was perfect and on the money. So, and then again, we're better strikers. We're looking at him we're giving him a man of the match award. We're saying about, oh my god, look at that pass, look at that assist that he did. But unfortunately, we just don't have the killers in front of goal to reward his good work.
I couldn't believe it yesterday when Jermaine Jonas said one of the reasons he gave KDB man of the match was how many tackles he put in. He only put in one. Crazy. They just look for excuses to give man of the match to their people that they want to give it to. Again,
that's true. But what I would say is, do you know how many times KDB gave a ball away in the first half? He
always does that. Yeah,
he does, bro.
In the first,
honestly, in midweek, bro, against Madrid, he gave the ball back more times than any other player in the history of the Champions League ever.
But on a side note,
the ball more than that.
Phil Foden was. I swear to God, he was inches away from getting a second yellow card in that second half. He made a tackle. I can't remember who it was on. He'd already been booked. But I think he just nearly caught him and stuff like that. So he was lucky as well. But that was the most thing I knew about Foden was his complaining yesterday.
He also should have scored on us, though, yesterday. He should have scored.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Yeah. You're right.
That was actually some good. That was actually good work from Petrovic, bro. Petrovic closed down the angle.
But Foden, for the people that talk about him as player of the year, you probably should have put that in the corner.
Benny, one sub that I want to talk about, and then I'm done because we're nearly done 2.5.
No, I want to talk on another one that came on left wing. So yeah, make time for that.
Are you shit?
Mudryk, bro, like 100 million Mudryk, but I'm sorry, like, come on,
he hardly got
bro, like. No, but when you had the opportunity to put the ball into the box twice, you overhit it. Like, I'm sorry, bro. But
corner. It's the second corner midweek. That's what he did.
Yeah.
He did
it times two.
This is more for me.
Yeah.
Chilwell was worse, 100%. He was worse, but both of them were awful for me.
Like he did. He was in a 100-meter sprint. He was flying, right? I was like, he got the ball, and I can see Sterling, and I thought, this is.
He didn't look up.
This moment is what Sterling does best here, like making that right there and just play it into whether he scores or not. It's another story, but at least that movement there is Sterling-esque. Just getting him, but right, we've got him behind down the wing. You're looking up, you're thinking, who's going to join me? Oh, Sterling, yeah. You know, he don't even look. Right. He just looks straight, like he's a greyhound. That's what it was. He looked like he was a greyhound running around the
corner.
I'm telling you, I told Kev and I told Alex and I told Dan, I told these lot on the pod that we did on Chelsea Fan TV about Chilwell, yeah. I said, I know man like this. You know this team's young, innit? This team's young right now. Jem, in the ends, yeah, you always get a guy that's in their 30s and they're still trying to hang around with the young G's on the block, bro. The 18-year-olds, the 19-year-olds, and you're looking at them like, brother, go start a family, go get a job, You still see them on their pushback. That is Ben Chilwell, bro. The guy looks
28.
Bro, whatever he is, whatever he is,
27.
whatever he is, he just doesn't look right in this team anymore. It's time to go, bro. Yeah, and I'm praying. I put it up. I said in my review after. Yeah, I am praying to God that Leicester get promoted and just take him off of our hands and he can go back home because I'm honestly sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of this.
He's not even looking, bro.
Look. What is that, Jeff? We pay this guy 200k a week, right? We paid Ben Chilwell 200k a week, bro.
200k.
But see, this is the thing I've been talking about on Chilwell for years. Like, even when he was playing well under Tuchel, like, he was a very good athlete, and obviously the injuries affected that. But even back then, I looked at his technical security, and it's not good. It's not good. And people look at, oh, pace is great. But again, you saw that he's running at a fast speed. But when you haven't got technical security and you're running that fast, you're not going to be able to make the right decision because you don't get your head up in the right time. The ball isn't in the right place when you're dribbling to actually make the pass. So again, I've been saying it for a long time. Chilwell isn't good enough. And the fact that we spent 110 million on him and Cucurella combined, awful business. And then you're letting people go like Natson and Lewis Hall. And we're going to cry about, certain sections of this family are going to celebrate and be like, pure profit, yay, pure profit, yay. But if we've got 100 million worth of left backs who aren't good enough, I don't give a fuck about no pure profit. These guys aren't good enough. They're awful.
There's a sucker out there who will pay big money for Chilwell. I'm telling you right now, there is a sucker out there who will pay big money for Chilwell.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like he's not going to want to go abroad.
Andrew,
I don't see him in the Premier League do it.
No one is. Listen, I already said it about this guy. He's not going to any club that is pushing for anything, bro. He's gonna go down from here, bro. Yeah, Arsenal are not gonna go in for this guy. Man City definitely ain't gonna go in for him anymore, right? Who else have you got? United, they're not gonna sign him. All these teams that are up there, supposed to be up there with us, yeah, are not gonna go sign this man. So he's not gonna
go abroad.
I'm not talking about the big teams. I'm talking about there is some team out there who will still pay, who will still think.
But why? Why?
No,
because
you don't ask that. You don't ask why. You don't ask why.
No, but you have to be
money.
No, but Andrew, Andrew, you have to be real about it. I don't see any team coming in and offering.
What are you saying? What are you saying? 60 million for Havertz and Mount, but they did. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
But Jem, Havertz and Mount, yeah, more time are always available. Ben Chilwell, we know that more time this guy breaks down, bro. How many times has he broken down already this season, bro? You know what I mean? Time and time again, he just breaks down, and again, he's on high wages. Do you know what I mean? He's just sticking around right now, and I'm sorry, he's just a bad smell, bro. Like, listen, I'm not gonna get personal with the guy because at the end of the day, it's football. But I'm sorry, he's just not good enough. He needs to get moved on. He needs to get moved on, bro. There's no way he should be in a team next year, bro.
You know, yesterday's movement reminded me of, if you haven't done this, if you play a drop-ins on FIFA Pro Clubs.
Yeah.
You're in the centre, right? You're in the centre, but some idiots on the wing just playing to do the tricks or something like it doesn't even look. That's what yesterday's movement reminded me of.
I compared it to drop-ins, you know.
How are you running?
Bro, I'm telling you, he's a spy, bro. He came on like a spy, bro.
How are you running on the left wing and you never look in the middle? Where are you running to then? What are you running to then if you're not looking up?
Even the bad thing was, right, when you're a winger, right, and you play off the wing, even this is Sunday League football, right? You always get
look up.
To look up. So when you're a professional,
see, if anyone's there, then you stop running. If no one's there, you stop running. If no one's there, you don't run.
Your main aim as a winger, left back, or whatever position you play off that side is to look up and find your man. That is your job. That's your role. Like, play them.
And the thing is, and this is what I was saying about Chilwell before, because we know, yeah, that when we won the Champions League and when we was top of the league in December when we had Lukaku that time, yeah, most of our creativity was obviously coming from Chilwell and Reece James, right? And when they both got injured, that's when we started to fall off because we literally had no fucking creativity in the midfield, right?
Yeah.
But like I've said, when you look at when you look at what his strengths were in terms of, you know, his movement in the final third and his final ball, even his shot was good, yeah. All of that has gone down, bro. Because Chilwell back in the day, yeah, he's gonna whip that like Reece James to Raheem Sterling. He had that in him because he's a classic fullback, so he will run like Robertson, and then he will just whip it in. But now, bro, he hasn't even got that in his locker. He just looks so far off of it. Like when I was watching him for England as well, bro. Yeah, I'm embarrassed. I'm thinking, yo, this guy plays for my club, bruv. You know what I'm saying?
You don't look comfortable.
Everyone asking why he was subbed on. I swear I saw Cucurella reach for the back of his calf. And that's why he was subbed on.
I'm telling you, bro, Jem, I was so embarrassed watching Gallagher and Chilwell, yeah, playing for England because I'm thinking, yo, these man play for my club, you know, and it's bad.
Honestly, I was happy watching them.
because everyone can see in it.
Because everybody was saying that, because you know how much I've heard this season that Gallagher's one of your best players, this, that, the other. I'm like, okay, you not watch him live at Wembley against Brazil, watch him stink up the gaff, and then he did. I'm like, cool, Now you look at yourselves about best player for Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm happy they expose themselves, but at the same time, it's obviously still embarrassing to watch it because it's like, yo, I liked Chilwell when he first came. I never overrated him to say he's world class. I just said, listen, he does the job well. He puts up the numbers. I always used to put him and Reece James in my FPL. They used to put up numbers.
Actually, the poster boy for Tuchel's coaching for the first part of coaching.
So, but end of the day, it's regressed, isn't it? Massively.
Yes,
we got it, so man.
We need to move away because I need to come off. Actually, they need to upload as well. So on the Chelsea fans,
imagine if we've won.
Yeah. I was going to say to you, Palace are winning 2-0 against West Ham. Elise and Eze just scored. I just see that.
Really? That means they would have played 3 games more than us. Today. 3 games more than us.
We should be overtaking them, even if we lose to Arsenal. We've still
you're right. We've got to play them at the bridge.
Arsenal, bro. We have to.
Anyway, that's what I was going to talk about. Arsenal. We have got a match preview for that. We're doing a match preview either tomorrow or Tuesday. So look, the consistency is coming back, guys. I'm coming back slowly. All right, we're going to be more fixed. Yes. My Enzo agenda is here. No, I'm joking. So look, we got to dip off. It's been 2.5 hours. What a show. We've had a lot to get through, lots to get into. You've heard it, guys. If you haven't, go and watch it back later when you're chilling and whatever. Catch up. Some good conversations had today. I think some fair conversations, good analysis about the game as well and how we felt. But we move on to the Premier League and we do have Arsenal next. So I will let you guys know if it's tomorrow or Tuesday. We'll be doing a match preview for that. Let's stop them like we did with Spurs. Remember Spurs? Yeah. We need to do that.
We went top yesterday. We have to stop.
If you get another 4 chances against them and you score 2, I will forgive you. I promise.
Yeah, Jackson, if you score a hat-trick, all's forgiven. No.
I will forgive you, bro. I promise you. Just beat them. But anyway, big up, guys. Enjoy your Sunday. Have fun. Take care. And we'll be back again very, very soon, guys. Leave some comments below as well. Let us know what you thought about the show and stuff as well. Big up, man. See you later.
Yeah.